Hey everybody, it's Saturday again, and that means it's time for Star City. Hooray!
Yay!
Oh.
Turkey bacon.
Right. When we last left our heroes 2 weeks ago, I believe you guys were still out in the West Coast,
Yes.
and we're trying to track down the last of the the devices that the Scrix had shown Hiveminder how to make, and had been given to Apex, and they were now out on the coast. And I believe that some of them were apparently given to some, might possibly have been given to some scientist somewhere. If I remember correctly.
Yes.
Yeah, I seem to remember something about that.
Right. Other important notes: Apex basically was badly. Apex has gotten out of the hospital. Superiana is still there. Raptora is missing time because reasons. And
So,
John
yeah.
and John is remarkably paranoid.
As always.
Okay, that's not news. That's just the general sort of state of that's just sort of saying the things are as normal as they get.
Snafu.
Yeah.
Okay. So, we gotta figure out what we're gonna do now. Well, I think that it would be best to figure out who Raptora would have given the things to and try and find them.
Okay.
So, let's do that.
Alrighty.
Well, I think that would be easiest if Sophia manages to build her detection device.
Okay.
So I believe, Word was talking about having Sophia try to whip up some device to be able to track these device thingies.
Mm-hmm. The idea was that since these things use a crystalline-based circuitry, I was going to try and detect crystals that are being used in such a fashion. Or powered in such a fashion.
Okay, so you're trying to detect crystals that are being subjected to electrical stuff?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
Which would pretty much hit on any of their technology, really.
True. It will also hit on a lot of digital watches. They're like there's a actually I don't know how popular quartz watches are these days. Now I think about it, because a lot of watches actually use quartz electricity running through it to actually get to as the timepiece, the timekeeper thing.
That brings up a simple question. What kind of crystals are being used in this circuitry?
See, that's a better question. All right. Well, in that case, honestly, I don't know what type. Probably quartz is involved because it actually does. It is affected by electrical current running through it. So.
Don't die.
This is normal for me.
Yeah, basically, I just want you to come up with a good pseudo fluff reason for the actual mechanical build.
All right.
But you're on a start there, so it's not a you got a good start.
Right.
So.
Well, here's another thing with the devices and whatnot. There's a larger concentration of said crystal than there would be in a watch. Yes.
Very likely, yes.
Well, then I just cut off a baseline to avoid detecting the watches, unless there's a huge, big-ass watch somewhere. In which case, I want to find it anyway, because damn, that'd be cool.
Make sure to...
Wait a minute. You're detecting high concentrations of crystals with your device on the West Coast.
No.
Near Berkeley.
No. I would have said something if he'd said that. He was looking for crystals that are being subjected to they're being used in electronic devices.
Okay.
Now I pointed out that a lot of watches do that, but if you're going for looking for devices that have exceed a certain threshold, and I'm trying to think. Do you guys have anything that can actually track the signal? I don't think you technically do. Because it's not.
I could probably
The
build
devices
something.
work over light years, right?
Yep.
So they would have to emit some sort of exotic particles, because
Well
they'd be
said.
sending information faster than light.
Thank you, Eric. You actually you actually found the actual angle that I actually had put into all of this.
Okay.
Like I was waiting for this. I'm like,
Tachyons, they solve everything.
as good an exotic particle as any for this.
I'm still getting used to thinking on such scales.
Right. Yeah, the important bit these devices work on an interstellar scale, which means it's by definition FTL communications, which is by Earth technological standards fucking impossible. So yes, you're looking for some sort of exotic particle. It could be tachyons, it could be something, it could be almost any. It could be any sort of bullshit Star Trek particle you want to come up with, honestly. I mean...
You should make it bosons, because everything's better with bosons. Honestly, I've been waiting for for someone to put that together at some point. I'm like, someone has to figure this out at some point. Really? Sorry, my Skype has been exploding. I just restarted it, so...
Well, no, I've been wondering for sessions now when someone can click on this. It's like they're communicating across like the galaxy. They gotta figure this out at some point.
All right, so I'm going to develop a plot particle detector.
Fair enough. Plotions, go.
Yeah, there we go. Plot ions. All right, so guess I'll do a tech roll.
Yeah, give me you need a tech roll you got the fluff for it. Roll for building
I got
the
the
device.
roll for it.
Yes, you do. So after a little while, Sophia actually does manage to rig up a detection device. Now, you are able to detect emissions of, as for all intents and purposes, plotions. Now,
Sodium.
you do detect a few things. You're able to detect some weak plotion field emissions. I can't believe I'm saying that. I haven't said that. Actually, I'll be honest. Plotions have been used in a sci-fi campaign I ran ages ago.
Really?
Oh yeah, it was one of the many sort of. I forget exactly what part of it was another one. It was basically we were trying to come up with a theoretical particle for that, and we just decided on plotions.
Right.
And honestly,
I have inspired nostalgia.
oh yeah, that, and I will say this, while I'm not the first to come up with it, I definitely was using unobtainium well before the movie Avatar.
Oh yeah, unobtainium's shown up friggin' in almost every game I've played in.
Mm-hmm.
Of course.
Yes. So, I forget what the other weird metals we had in that game, but yeah.
You have Protagonite?
No, we did not have Protagonite.
Oh.
At any rate, you are able to detect a not particularly. You have a reading on you're definitely picking up some plotions from one direction. You're
What,
also
the band?
No, not the band.
Oh,
That goes over my head.
I thought we would have to kill them.
Wrong type of game.
You still can. They're obviously using some form of dark magic to be as popular as they are.
All I'm
Pardon
saying,
me, I
all
gotta
I'm
step
saying,
away for a moment.
all I'm saying is their version of this new version of Blondie's One Way or Another is infinitely more creepy when sung by men.
The deuce, you say?
Oh yeah.
Men?
Well, boys.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, I doubt anybody had a problem with anybody who cared had a problem with Debbie Harry stalking them in the mid '80s.
Early
No.
80s.
Early 80s, sorry, early 80s.
I'm gonna find ya.
But yeah, these dudes singing this song.
Dude, there are a lot of songs that if you actually look at the lyrics, you go, Actually,
Yeah, but
about half the songs by the Police, dear lord.
yeah, it just makes you aware of it because we've got it playing at work on fucking loop, and it's like halfway through the song, and it's like, and if your lights are all out, I'll follow your bus downtown. It's like, oh dear lord.
Yeah. So, anyways, back to the actual story.
Yeah, sorry.
It's all right. No, it's quite all right. So yes, you're detecting some emissions from a particular direction, roughly in directions of. God, hang on a second. I'm nearly positive I actually named the laboratory. This is not on this particular notepad. This is a problem when you have multiple notepads.
Sorry about that. I'm back. Had to assist with bathroom reconstruction. So what a miss.
Not much. I'm just trying to find the actual name of the laboratory where the laboratory in the direction that you're picking up the Plaudion emissions from.
Okay.
And
I assume that smaller traces are found on the devices that we have that we're using as control.
Well, they're not currently active, so they're not really emitting anything.
Fair enough. Can I have it as a side detection that will just detect that kind of an arrangement?
What do you mean?
Like, they're configured and arranged in such a way for, like, a specific purpose. Can I set the detector to be able to detect them while dormant if they're in that configuration?
Not really.
Okay.
It, in theory, could theoretically be possible, but it's one of those... There are levels of super science I'm willing to go to. That's beginning to push the bounds of super science.
You don't have any more bullshit in your ass to pull out. Stop that.
I mean, there are...
Well, the plus side, this means you can probably make a serum that will turn us into giant bugs.
Wait, what?
No, thank you. I prefer not having an exoskeleton.
Well, why not?
I prefer mine on the inside. I'm prettier that way.
All right. Oh, okay. Yep. Oh, there we go. It's coming from the Infinitech Laboratories. Found it finally.
Alien Global Domination Labs.
No, not alien. No, it's Infinitech.
How oddly specific.
Bad guy technological solutions.
When we get there, we find the plans, all the bad things I did, .txt.
Nope. Nope. So yes, it's coming from the direction of the only large sort of research lab in that general direction that you were aware of that's anywhere nearby is the Infinitech Laboratories. And from the readings, the distances roughly mesh up at least.
Sounds like a good move.
You have no idea how hard I was resisting calling it Yo-Yo-Dine. That's all I'm going to say. Yes, but there's one other important note. You are also picking up some. You're also picking up some similar emissions from vertically, shall we say?
Above.
Yes, but they seem to be long distance. You're basically
well, no one can argue the range of the device.
Well, you're sort of almost on receiving at this point. So I mean,
right.
So you're not like you're picking up like it's basically in order for your device to be picking it up you're guessing that from the readings that it's actually give me another tech roll so you can see if you can interpret the data.
Yeah, 22.
That's still probably good enough. Yeah, you're pretty sure that that from what you're reading on from your knowledge of what the output of these devices are when they're active, and because you had time to scan them, and while you were fighting the fighting people who were using them, and some simple basic mathematical calculations. You'd guess that it'd have to be at least the closest it could be would be Earth orbit, outer space.
Right. Yeah.
So it's possible there might be some sort of relay station or something like that in orbit, maybe.
That would make sense.
Or the mothership.
Also possible.
Dun, dun, dun.
Possible, but I don't find that as likely in my mind.
Well, we haven't seen any large assault ships, have we? We've mostly just seen the smaller troop transports, haven't we?
That is correct.
Well,
Yeah,
maybe.
my money is on a battleship.
Well, if we took the if we tried to do this from a different location, miles from here, we could triangulate the position of it.
Ooh.
Like Star City.
I would have to go that far, really. But yeah, I mean, it would.
We could just do it again at some point while we're still on this trip, looking for whatever.
Absolutely.
Stop cutting down on my justifications for Sophia leaving the West Coast.
We'll take you with us. Like,
She needs motivation.
We have cookies. What more do you need?
Nom, 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 nom.
They have a penguin.
we have
They
a
do have
penguin.
a penguin.
Delicious cookies.
For a moment, I thought you were about to say it's a delicious penguin. I was going to be very confused.
I was going to be very concerned. Yeah.
No.
The rest of the team just look at Doc.
Don't be ridiculous. Penguins taste disgusting.
Mark?
What?
I think Tony.
I come from a rich family. Okay. Don't judge me.
I think Tony would argue that Orca would definitely dispute that statement.
Mhm.
There'd be a reason they eat us, right?
They're not just being pricks.
I don't know. Orca are kind of douchebags, honestly.
they are. As I said, they're not
So I guess,
just
so I guess
being
out of all
pricks.
those feel-good movies, Warwick is not particularly fond of Free Willy.
Given that it's based on one of the natural predators of his species, no, not really. Like,
I don't know. He makes a decent horror film for him, I suppose.
but it's
They
not.
got him.
But they're not.
They got him back into the ocean. We're all doomed.
Well, to be fair, it's just one whale, so I mean,
Right.
There is a movie from the 80s that's sort of a Jaws spoof.
with an
Or
orca,
not
yeah.
a spoof, but a ripoff called Orca, about a super intelligent killer whale.
Yeah, I
This sounds like a sci-fi original.
it predates sci-fi originals.
Oh,
Dear Lord.
jeez.
They learned from this.
Oh,
Besides, sci-fi original, it would have been a sharktopus.
they
Or
made
a
that.
mega snake, or something.
Don't get me started.
So, Infinite Labs.
Infinitech Laboratories, yes. All right, so do you guys want to head there right now, or what do you want to do?
Well, I'm assuming my missiles and rockets are restocked, so I don't see any other reason to
You've
not go there.
certainly had time to restock on them, yes.
Uh-huh.
Come on, there's crime afoot.
Spinning face
Try
logo
and
transition.
capture it, what do you guys think?
All right, so you guys are going to head to Infinitech. You can all pile in the van and drive there. It's not that hard.
Okay.
Sophia will buckle up.
All right, so you arrive at the gates of Infinitech, and you see the beautiful sign outside. And it's basically a big, Infinitech Laboratories, a subsidiary of Anders Conglomerated.
There's a joke in there, but I can't identify it.
That's not a joke.
It'd be a clue to something.
I think you might mean that he could make.
Oh, well, maybe, but I'm not meaning a joke. It's an in-universe thing.
Isn't there someone we
Okay.
know named?
Wait a minute, Anderson. Isn't that the
Anders, but
the
yes.
we don't like Damien Knight company?
Yeah, it's Night Industries' main competitor. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
You guys have met.
Cyber
okay.
Industries versus Stark Labs. Gotcha.
You guys have met. You've met Mr. Anders at one point.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah. You didn't. They did.
The East Coast has so many interesting people.
Well, two of the biggest tech companies in the country are based. Two of the biggest tech companies in the country are based actually in Star City. Night Industries actual. Now, there's a very good reason why both of them have their corporate headquarters in Star City, it being in Delaware. So yeah. All right. So that's the sign you see outside. What do you do at this point? You're at the gates.
Well, I guess. Well, how long does it take for him to check actually Sophia to check the readings?
I like to think it's like the Dragon Radar.
It's honestly, I mean, consulting, just looking at the device and picking up on the readings.
Well, like, I guess just to get a reading, and then we can, I guess, triangulate it later.
You could. It would take her at most a minute to dial in on locations and such.
Okay.
Yeah, worth doing. I can do that from inside the van.
No reason why you couldn't. Yeah, you're. Actually, give me another tech roll. That's actually a good point.
All right.
Yeah, that is more than enough to confirm that the signal is coming from somewhere in the building over there.
Are there more than one signal? Just like really clustered up?
That you really can't make out easily.
I'll have to fine tune this.
Let's hope no. Okay then. Well, I guess we'll attempt to
go
enter.
in.
All right. Well,
Yeah, I mean, let's go. I mean, the doc's just going to go through the front door.
well, as I
he's
said,
not-
the laboratory there is a gate to the facilities where the laboratory is. It's not like just a front door. This is a research lab, and it does seem to have sort of like an outer gate and walls and such. So you have a checkpoint and such.
I like that's ever stopped superheroes.
It doesn't, but it depends on how you want to approach this.
If we announce our presence, then whatever that's against us lurking inside is going to be aware of us, and will probably be able to take measures to prevent us from succeeding.
No, but if we go and make a big stink up front, even just apparently innocently, John could slip in and do what John does.
Not good.
This is true, although it would still
Maybe
raise
start a
something
game.
of an alarm of concern.
I'm in favor of attempting it.
Actually, is there any reason why John couldn't just slip in without, like, a front distraction?
He probably could, actually.
Quite possibly.
Because that would definitely be a better idea. Then the internals wouldn't be going on yellow alert, as it were.
Did you just say YOLO alert?
Yellow.
Yes.
Yeah. They would go to red alert, but they have to change the bulbs.
Well, yellow alert is when they raise their shields. Red alert is when they actually return fire. Yellow is caution, basically.
Okay.
It's a magenta alert.
I needed an analogy. Shut up.
That's a disco.
Anyway.
Okay, so it's... Let me just get this straight. So it's part of Anders' conglomerate. We know what Mr. Anders already. Do we know what type of tech this company is?
Nope.
Hopefully.
We have the internet. We can find out.
To the internet!
Sure, give me a research roll.
Derp, derp, derp.
Research. Is that a skill or?
Yes, I believe it is.
It should be under investigation.
Yeah,
Oh.
that's what I mean. Yeah, investigation.
There we go.
Darp, 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 darp.
Do an internet check.
Aw. I found a Google.
You did. You. Okay, Gav, you have found their Google their page through Google.
Yay.
They are a research laboratory. They do research on a lot of different sorts of lots of technology. They're very, very, very unspecific on the page.
And they're a
Click on the
subsidiary of a
contact
I
Ubix.
click on hiring opportunities.
I click on careers.
Okay, well, Eric rolled a 17, which means you don't get much else. Yeah, honestly, they don't seem to be hiring at the moment.
Now, I wonder how often Mr. Anders himself comes and inspects his plant.
How often? Okay, actually, I will tell you this: what you actually know about Anders Conglomerated. They are primarily a. They're sort of almost a holding company. I mean, it's basically one company that owns a whole bunch of other companies.
Ah, okay.
As I said, this is which is why this is Infinitech Laboratories, a subsidiary of Anders Conglomerated. They're
Okay,
owned.
so
The odds
he
of
has
him,
no actual power in this building. Just that.
he owns effectively he owns the place, but effectively, but
Yeah.
But I mean, the odds of him actually visiting a lab like this are not great. It's not like if it was a Knight Industries lab that would work better with Dr. Knight, but
Because it's actually his own actual lab. Okay, technical, technical grunt type janitorial doodle do.
very likely.
Yep. Disgize. Poof.
Okay, you've activated the kit.
Yes.
Search precisely how many licks it takes to get to the center of a Tootsie Pop.
And I'm going to go and try and find the service entrance because that's generally where people go in, not the front door when you're janitorial.
Well, again, everybody seems to. Okay, I'll re-describe this. As I said, there's a laboratory. There's a main building inside, basically, which is walled off on the outside with a security gate on the outside. You're guessing that anybody who's going to the building has to go through the checkpoint and go inside.
Oh, okay. To the checkpoint.
So, are you going to walk up to the checkpoint, or are you going to?
I might need an identity.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Snapdragon McFisticuffs.
I'm good. I'm not that good. Just make a name off the top of my head. Oh yeah, you're down. Hang on then, because I half-assed my way through the last one I did this, but this is actual security check.
Mm-hmm.
Give me a minute.
No problem.
I need to get creative with this.
No Geo Blood bad.
I can't see the chat. God damn it.
One of them suggested you saunter up to them.
That'd be a very different approach.
That'd be a very non-John approach.
I'm the janitor. You will let me in.
It will be on your head if there is a spill and people die. I don't know why I went Arnold there, but
So apparently those from Denmark speak with German accent.
I don't know. I blame Nick.
What?
Started it.
Yeah. Yeah, except Nick is doing a fake Swedish accent.
I know. Everything I try to do that is even vaguely Scandinavian eventually goes to Schwarzenegger.
Who's not remotely Scandinavian.
I know.
It's all that crap up north. It's all Germanic, right?
No!
No.
Some of it very distinctly isn't.
I know.
Oh dear. Oh, okay. Hang on. That might be a better idea. What time of day is it?
Yeah, sure.
Okay,
sounds good.
so we're within opening hours.
Oh, yeah.
Cycle courier disguise away.
Okay, so what are you doing? What are you disguising yourself as?
As a cycle courier.
Ah, okay. That might work actually.
Yes. I just need some kind of bullshit papers.
Uh huh.
Who has something I can deliver?
What?
I can just build some.
I have some chalk.
Actually, I could build like a large homing device.
To be honest, I mean, you guys have the technical know-how to build something, and then you could drive to the nearest FedEx thing and buy a box or something like that. I mean,
Yes, that's what I mean. I need a prop.
Can I build a? No, that's silly.
Yeah, just go to the post office or something like that and buy a box. I mean, it's not hard.
Okay,
I was just thinking, can I build a box making device?
I'll buy a box, and there's a rock in the
I'll
box.
conjure one from the aether.
I'm just getting into Earthbound levels of silliness now.
Okay, so
Okay, you have a box.
you're obtaining a box. You're putting something in the box, and you're
With a
disguising
bunch of packing material.
right, and you're disguising yourself as a courier.
Yes.
And
Deliver black
and
roses.
you're going to don't do that. That wouldn't have the same result anyways. This is not a mob front.
All black leathers, black helmet, blacked out visor, razors and blacked out visor, wearing shades.
And you can obtain a bike of some sort, no problem.
Yeah. Don't have to build one.
No.
No, you can just steal it from some civilian.
Yeah, exactly. I like her.
It's like, I know what you're going to do.
Okay, so
It's for
basically,
the greater good. Let's get it over with.
I approach the gate with package X.
Okay, so you arrive at the gate. You see there's a couple of security guards there. They look over and say, "Can we help you, sir?"
I have a package to deliver.
Very well. Who for?
I'm not actually sure. The thing just says front desk. Apparently, somebody's expecting it. I don't know.
The guards sort of like you see one of the guards like roll his eyes like again. Fine.
Yeah.
Let me call the desk and see if there's any. Let me just double check with the desk see if there's any word there. Hang on.
Okay.
So he walks back. One of the guards sort of walks, and the other guy sort of sits there. So, hey, how about that local sports team?
I'm not from around here, to be honest, mate. I'm kind of temping, covering for a friend who's ill. I don't know. They're not the local guys. What was all that the other day? Like fucking explosions and flying people.
Local superheroes doing something or other. I don't know.
That was cool, man. I mean, I live out in the sticks normally. I don't see anything like that. That was awesome. Must be cool living in a city.
Especially that guy who kind of looks like you don't really know what he looks like, you know? Gun.
Well, yeah, you kind of get used to it. You know, there are a fair number of heroes and villains in the area, so you eventually you sort of don't notice it as much
Well,
after a while.
Yeah,
I'm
fair
doing
enough. But
Bakersfield impression.
you're in a city where there's people who can fly, fire death beams, and squish you like an ant when they fart. You know, it kind of get weird thing to get used to.
After a while, it just becomes part of the scenery, man.
I'm thinking about getting a place out here, but I don't know.
Yeah. Eventually, the other guard comes up. Well, there's no word at the desk, but if you got a package, you got the forms with it.
Oh shit! They're in my bike. Give me a. Do I need them?
Yeah.
Oh Christ! Hang on a second.
Gav.
Yeah.
If you'd like to have something some sort of forged
Yeah,
paper
I know,
type thing,
and,
feel free to spend a hero point for that.
Well, yeah. Well, I was basically going to say that John is prepared for this sort of situation, but he forgot to write one out. So he has papers. He just had to disappear around the corner while he was to write one.
That's fine. As I said, just spend a hero point, you'll have them.
Okay. Returns. There you go.
Yeah, these look like they're basically in order. All right. Yeah, you'll be met inside by a couple of guys from security. They'll wait with you until someone comes down to deal with the package.
Okay. Bit tight, isn't it? For what I mean, was it just a research lab?
They got government contracts and stuff, man.
Christ, one of those places. Okay. Yeah, fair enough.
All right. He raises the gate. Just go on through.
Now wondering.
And just park your bike right outside there. You can see the area for delivery guys to park their bikes.
Thanks,
or
bud.
trucks or what have you. Yep. Have a good day.
Right. I wonder.
You head up and you go inside, and there are a couple security guards there. They look at your papers and they sort of, all right, yeah, just we're trying to find out who this package is for, unless you want to just leave it at the desk.
Well, I mean, can do, yeah. I mean, that was my instruction. Just leave it there.
All right, that's not a problem. Just
Okay.
the woman at the desk will sign the papers. You know, unless the package requires the appropriate signature.
Yeah, I don't think it does. I mean, there's no special instruction on this sheet.
Right.
Actually, guys, can I ask a bit of a favor? I was being stood outside a couple of minutes with the other dudes. Do I need like a babysitter everywhere in here? Because I kind of need to use the bathroom.
Oh, just there's a restroom right there. Well, he just points over down, just over a little ways. You can use that
sweet.
one. Yeah, just leave the
Okay.
package. Why don't you just leave the package at the desk and have the one sign it? And
Yep.
cool.
Okay.
The woman at the desk, she's on the phone moment, and she holds up a finger, and yes, Professor, yep. All right, I'll make sure that call goes right through to you. Can I help you, sir?
Yeah, hey, I've got a package to deliver.
All right. You need me to sign for it?
Yeah, just a generic delivery signature will do.
Fair enough. Just leave the package there, and whenever someone will come down for it.
Thanks.
She signs it, hands it back to you.
I wander off with the paper. Enjoy your rock. And I head towards the bathroom.
You're in the bathroom.
Okay, so I didn't need a bodyguard inside the bathroom.
No, they're not. No, they are quite content that it is very unlikely that a bike courier will will find a way to go from the bathroom into the rest of the building without them noticing.
Okay. What's the layout of this place? Is it securityed up? Can I tell?
Well, from where you're looking at it, it's you're basically in a big lobby. There are a couple of there's some security doors you'd have to get through, but
Okay. I mean the bathroom itself.
oh, the bathroom itself, there's a door that goes into. It's basically almost any office building bathroom, except the walls look a little bit
Cameras.
There are no cameras in the bathroom, no.
Okay.
And the only window seems to open out into the
Just
sort
back out into the.
back out into the parking lot. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Also, if you take a look, if you sort of fiddle with the window a little bit, it doesn't look like it opens all the way.
So I could use it as an escape route at least.
Honestly, you're not sure you could.
Okay.
You're like, and I'm not sure I could fit through that.
Okay.
But you're pretty sure you couldn't.
Okay.
Although
one of two-
your gut impression is, given the way it opens, it's more that it's not that you couldn't. It's more not as designed to keep people in. It's more to keep people from opening the window from the outside and getting in that way.
Of course, yeah. Okay. One of two ways appears to me here. I can either wait for someone else to try and use the bathroom and steal their identity, or get somebody to come into the bathroom and steal their identity. I can't really walk out. No one else has been in. Oh, actually, the guards weren't really looking.
Can someone help me out? This toilet's backed up.
Actually, no. I'm going to. Obviously, I was getting a look, taking notice of the people that are around.
Mm-hmm.
Generic office style disguises. I would be tempted to go security guard, but the two guys outside are most likely to recognize other security guards.
Yep.
Okay. Right. I'm going to try and redisguise myself.
Yep.
+8. Yes.
All right.
As just a generic office worker, Joe Schmo.
Okay, fair enough.
This is basically a multi-person bathroom, isn't it? It's not like there's one stall, one.
No, it's
dirty,
it's definitely a multi-person bathroom. Yep.
good. Okay, I'm just doing all this is like, yeah, whoa, what are you doing there? Okay, right, I'm just gonna head straight out the door then.
Okay, you need to give me another. That was to activate the kit. You have to give me another roll for the actual disguise with your bonus. Don't forget you get the plus 20 to that one. Yeah, there you go.
That one then.
Yeah, that. Yeah. Okay, you're well disguised.
Oh, actually, hang on. Oh yeah, D20 plus 20. Yeah, okay, yeah. Okay, so I head out, and
They don't really sort of they glance over at you, but don't really seem to be paying much attention. They're like, yeah, it's some worker guy.
can head off towards.
Okay. One note is, Gav, you do notice that it looks like the security doors do require a key card.
Yeah, I was just about to notice that actually. I am going to try and see if is anybody just hanging around in the lobby, like just drinking coffee or just talking or just that sort of thing.
There are a couple people in there. Yeah, sure.
Okay, deploy Operation Bump into them and steal their keycard.
Yeah, you want to pickpocket them. Yeah, I got it.
That would be
New
sleight
York
of hand.
hospitality.
Sleight of hand would be the exact right skill if that's actually a skill. I forget.
And that one.
Yeah, that's plenty good.
John
Yoink!
has a whole set of skills.
Yoink! All right, you walk up the door. You use the card on the door. The door's unlocked, and you're inside the building.
Yay! Now what the fuck am I looking for?
That's a really good question. Well, I know what you're looking for. The problem is how are you going to find it?
Yeah. I see. I've been focusing so much on getting in, I've forgotten what I actually am looking for.
What is he looking for, guys?
You're
I
looking
didn't build the
for
cookie.
you're looking for whatever's giving off the signals, most likely the devices.
Right. So it's basically crystal resonation communication device.
Yes.
Okay.
Is John's communicator like silent to everyone except him, like codec style?
Oh, they're like earpiece
It's
type
cell
things.
phone.
No, you guys actually have communicators that are not like walkie talkies. So yeah.
Yeah.
All right. You could, if you need directions, you could probably just call Sophia. She can give you a general heading.
Well, actually, John's going to use because John's obviously would disguise his communicator as a cell phone, so it looks completely innocuous. You can actually use it as the disguise to avoid obviously being confronted by people, talking to people who may recognise him, that sort of thing, and use his phone to pretend he's talking to people as he's walking around. And he actually is going to talk to people. You. So basically, I don't know, Errant's communicating as well.
Well, I believe Sophia actually has been keyed into the network also. So.
Okay.
So yes, you now have John on the communicators.
All right. I will answer.
I'm in. Currently 3rd floor.
All right, then. Let's have a look at this. Type. What's the general heading from 3rd floor? About 30 feet inside the building, let's assume.
All right, so your first floor.
First floor. Whatever.
I don't know. Hang on a second. Someone's mic is picking up a lot of background noise at the moment.
Yeah, I'm here.
Let me try this.
Is that me?
No, it's better.
That's
All right,
what-
that was my air conditioner. I'm sorry.
Ah, okay.
What is the strange science? Air conditioning? Right in the home? How dare you?
Absurd. Unheard.
All right. So, yeah, you were picking up. It's you're guessing it's probably about from where Gav is right now. It's up 1 floor, and probably another say 150 feet due north.
All right. Actually, I just had a thought. Do I have any access to a blueprint at all? Like, can I quickly hack their network or something?
You can try.
All right.
Don't hack their network, hack City Records.
Dang it. 23.
You can get up a. Actually, let's see, 23. That's a good question. Will that actually get you what you're looking for? On its own, all things considered, actually, you actually look for records of like blueprints for the building and such. You're able to get access to to city records and such. You are able to find a file which has information on the building's layout, but it is in fact would require security clearance in order to be able to actually to see it. Given that it is a, as I said, a building that actually is does government contract work and such.
Right.
So, interestingly enough, more so than it's like that. Actually, it's actually the fact that the blueprints of the building are actually require a clearance is means that they probably do something more than just normal government work. You're almost certainly at least DoD level stuff.
Yeah, I kind of expected that. That being said, I am fully willing to attempt to infiltrate.
Okay. Well, then I need another. That's not really a tech roll though. That's more investigation.
I can do investigation as well. It's not nearly as good, but 26.
Okay. I was actually going to set that roughly at around a 25, so you beat it.
Yes.
Yes, Mage's Ends. I'm aware, and I was kicking it up some, all things considered, and Sophia beat it. Just remembered I almost forgot to load up the PDF of the rulebook. All right, so you're eventually able to hack your way through and get the information.
Excellent.
So you're able to tell them roughly. You're actually able to tell them roughly what lab the signal's coming from.
One floor up, straight down the hall, room 206.
Okay, I go to find a stairwell. Just a quick heads up. I ditched 2 security guards in the lobby. Sooner or later, they're going to go looking in that bathroom for that bicycle courier, and he ain't going to be there. So we may be on a time limit.
Understood. If you find anything, let us know. We'll enter at that point. At least that way you'll be able to get the jump on anyone who might be trying to get away or anything.
All right, so you do find a stairwell, Gav. It does require the key card to be swiped again.
I'm just going to check that, actually. Is there any markings on the key card indicating like a clearance level or anything?
Well, you said you were disguising yourself as an office worker. And you did not see any. The only people you saw in the laboratory looked like sort of office types and the security guys.
Okay.
And I will say this: the odds of you being able to get the card off the security guys, given where they were standing, was not good.
No.
So it looks like it's so and so from accounting.
All right, so I need to be careful about which areas I'm going to.
Possibly.
All right, then. He should be careful. I'll be long gone. Oh well. And swipe the door. Going for a stairwell.
The door opens. You're in the stairwell. You're going up.
Going up.
You get to the top. You get to the second floor stairwell. The door. Once you're in the stairwell, you don't need a card to get out of the stairwell. Thankfully.
Yeah. Fire hazards.
Yeah, that would be why. Yes. Among other reasons.
See behind door number 2.
And you walk down the hallway. You do notice that everybody on this floor that you're walking around, all you see are people sort of that look like lab technicians and such. People working labs and such. So scientisty types.
Hey. You stand out a little bit. I need a sciencey type disguise.
It's not enough you're going to make one guy lose his job. You're going to make 2.
Activate. Disguise A.
All right, so you're able to duck into like a closet somewhere, and you find you find like a lab coat and such that you sort of throw over, and you pull out like a pair of glasses or what have you.
Of course, you got to have the look.
Right. So you make yourself look more like a scientist, and pop back out and start walking down the hall.
Yep. Stand out less now.
Yes, you do. And you get to the door to Laboratory 206.
I'm guessing it's keycarded.
Yeah.
I'm guessing Bob from accounting keycard probably won't work in here.
Might not.
No. Are there any lab technicians hanging around drinking coffee?
No, there aren't actually at the moment.
Oh. Are there any lab technicians in rooms that don't look like they'd probably kill me if I opened the door?
You really can't tell because the doors don't seem to actually have like windows into them.
Oh, great. Okay. Well, I could bullshit myself an excuse out if I get caught. I prefer not to.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, running up and down the hall street, screaming "Baba Booey, Baba Booey," hiding in a closet, probably not the best thing to do.
What was that about?
I don't know. It's like John can cause his own distractions and then disappear. In my head, he can. I've been playing too much Assassin's Creed. Okay.
John, there are not any pictures of yourself on the wall. Stop that. That's the employee of the month.
Not yet, there won't be. Okay. Christ. My tech skill isn't great, and I don't really want to set off a whole shit ton of alarms.
Shit. It's. Damn it! I wish I'd actually gotten into their system as opposed to the city's. Then I might be able to actually open a door.
Okay. Well, let me think about this. Ooh. Ooh, ooh, ooh. We're gonna die hard this shit. Find me a ventilation shaft.
You can find ventilation shafts. They do not look like they are sized for a person to crawl through.
Oh crap!
Disguise yourself as somebody small enough.
That doesn't. It doesn't work that way.
Yet it doesn't. Okay. I mean, I could just try it, but I know I'm gonna get caught.
You could take the Metal Gear Solid 2 approach and just completely mug one of the scientists and force the door open that way.
Ooh. Ooh. Okay, we're gonna try this. I'm gonna put that keycard away.
Okay.
Oh no. Right. Okay. I need an identity. I need. Okay. No. Ignore that. Ah, Christ. Why is it fucking doors?
It's always doors. Doors, the bane of player characters.
Could be worse. Could be a beaded curtain.
That you could just walk through?
Yeah, they're not very obstructive. Ominous, but not obstructive.
My biggest concern is right now I just don't want to set off alarms.
Understandable.
So is there any, is literally is this entire area look deserted?
At the moment, yes. Yes, you walk by a few scientists, but they seem to basically do not seem to be standing around right this moment.
Okay. Okay. Forget the scientist disguise. I'm gonna go redisguise
Okay.
as a security guard. One of these security guys. Ooh, just about.
All right, you've activated it.
Yep.
Okay, you're disguised as a security guard.
It's convincing.
Yes, it
Right,
is.
I'm gonna go head up to the door and hammer on the door.
All right. Okay. A little bit later, after actually, no one seems to reply at first, but about a couple minutes later, eventually the door slides open. And you see a very annoyed scientist standing there. What do you want?
Basically, gonna walk in,
Actually, he basically the door opens. He looks at it and says, "What? We're busy in here."
There's a security risk, sir. Basically, walk in and just like
Oh,
scan
for
the
crying
room.
out loud! Right.
We feel that there may be an intruder on the premises. My personal keycard was stolen, hence the banging.
Give me a deceit roll, or whatever the skill is.
Yep. Persuasion.
Not persuade. You're looking
Deception.
for deception. That's the one you want.
It's the same silent.
Yeah. All right. So he seems to be believing you.
Okay, what do I see in the room?
It looks like a sort of an electronics lab. They seem to be building a lot. They seem to be experimenting on a bunch of different stuff. There are a couple of lab techs in there. They're working on various electronic devices. It looks like. Give me a perception check.
Perception is
19. Okay. You do notice that there is one very strange-looking device that there's a scientist that one of the guys in the room seems to be working on. He's working at a large table. Whoever's monkeying around the bag or something.
Probably.
Mute,
I think
please.
it's Eric.
Sorry, that was me.
So yeah, they're working on some sort of they're working at a large bench, or large workbench, I should say, and they have bunch of the thing that you note is that there's a very large sort of almost sort of like a device that looks a bit like a transmitter of some sort. But the thing that you note is there are a whole bunch of crystals and such on the desk.
right.
And the device in question seems to have a very large chunk of a transparent crystal that looks somewhat familiar to you, the type of crystal.
Okay. I'm gonna turn to the scientists. Okay, I'm sorry to interrupt your work, gentlemen, but orders from the top. We need to find out who's present and who's missing. So we need everyone to what's the word? To congregate down by stairwell 2. It's gonna only take 5 minutes just for a quick head count, but it's something that needs to be done.
Okay, give me that's a persuasion check.
Hero point.
Okay. Yeah.
There we are.
Okay. Most of the scientists are like, oh, fine, whatever. The guy working the device does not seem to notice actually when you say that. The rest of them are filing out.
Okay,
He's working on the device still. He seems to be tinkering on something. Yeah.
Sir?
Just give me a minute. I'm working. I gotta finish this connection.
I've got my orders, sir. We need reach a position where you can leave this work, and you'll be back in 2 minutes, promise.
He looks back over your shoulder and says, "My clearance is high enough that I don't. Just give me a minute. I'm almost done." And fine. Looks at it and says, "So who'd you say that gave the order?"
Just my superior, sir. Apparently, it's come all the way down from the top. Whoever this suspicion that somebody may be in here, whoever it is, they're taking it very seriously.
All right, I do need a deception check for you on this one.
Okay.
That's good enough. Because you're fairly certain that you probably should have known who the superior who gave you the order was, be able to name him, but you were able to gloss it over when you deliver it to him.
Yeah.
He says, "Fine. I'll go." He says, "Come along. You certainly don't have clearance to be in this lab alone."
That's fair enough, sir. And I'll hold the door open for him.
All right, he steps out.
I slam the door shut, close it, and use my gun to blow the lock.
Knew it.
So your door is set to close. Your gun is set to close doors.
Yes. I'm straight on the phone. Okay, which is more valuable to you guys, the transmitter or the crystals that power it? Because I don't think I carry both.
You hear the thump 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 on the door.
Yeah.
What are you doing in there? So you're a swipe beep boop, swipe beep boop. Actually, here, beep boop, meh, beep boop, meh, as the door is not opening.
Computer says no. Fuck off.
And as you're sort of talking about this, about a minute later, you also hear, wah, wah, wah.
Yeah, that's
Security
why I'm on the
breach.
phone.
I know.
It's taking a minute.
I guess it's up to Sophia to decide which is more important.
The transmitter
How big
just
is
like
this thing?
the-
Can John realistically carry it?
Oh, the device?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's carryable. It'd be heavy, but you could carry it.
Okay, so I'm gonna grab that and as many crystals as I can. And
Okay.
look for a back door, skylight window, anything.
I hate to say this.
You're gonna screw me over.
You have locked yourself in a room with no exits.
Oh great.
All right.
Oh, so I will say this. Sophia, you're looking at the map. The lab in question is in the middle of the building.
Yeah.
I was afraid of that, but I kind of had to take that risk.
I know.
All right. When you say in the middle of the building, do you mean that vertically?
No, it is only on the second floor, and the building's like at least 5 stories.
Yeah.
And yes, Major Sand is completely fucking right. This is a complication that earns you a hero point, Gav.
Yay.
because
Alright.
I just screwed you.
Okay. Sophia, how thick are these walls?
Looks about 6 inches with reinforced concrete in between each room.
Can the super gun blast through that with its penetration?
Maybe.
Fuck it.
John,
that-
wait a moment. I'm going to come in and get you.
No, don't bother. At the moment, when any of the local heroes get identified, we get into much deeper trouble. We need to keep this down low.
Fine.
You're saying you want to blow up a wall.
We don't know who's doing it. Right, basically, I'm going to find that whichever wall I think is going to lead into a corridor furthest away from where those guys are.
Let me look. Looking at the map, does it look like
Here
there's
is
a
the
hallway on
stairwell,
the other
if
side of the
possible.
wall?
Or a window.
All right. Yeah. Word. You're with the map that you have up. You're able to give Gav the appropriate wall.
All right, it's the opposite wall from the one you entered through.
Makes sense. Okay. Super gun.
All right. You fire. Give me your resistance to avoid being knocked on your ass.
Oh, hang on. I think it's 12, I believe.
Turns out it's like the trash compactor in Star Wars, and the walls
Well, there
are
you go.
hermetically sealed. Bounces all over the place.
All right. So it's power 12 with how much penetrating?
I think we maxed it out, didn't we? I've forgotten how that's what.
I think you jotted it down on the
did.
build.
Give me a sec. I didn't draw it on the build, but I've got it here.
Frame Shinobi Gaijin.
Damage 12. Penetrating. Oh, it just says range. Oh, it's per rank in it.
Yeah, you should have number. You should have listed how many ranks it was. I forget though.
No, it just says ranged multi attack penetrate. Oh, penetrating 7.
7. Yeah, that'll do it. Now, let me do a quick. Wrong. That's
It's
the
a
wrong
dog
chat.
gun.
That's the wrong chat window.
You can close them and open them.
Let me just double check something here.
Darth Vader's back.
There we go. That's what I was looking for. Oh, you blow a beautiful hole in the wall. The toughness of reinforced concrete is toughness 8, and I rolled a 1. So yeah.
Yay!
Boom!
There is now not a wall. It's not there's a hole in the wall. There just isn't a wall.
No,
Right, look down, left, right. Which way am I going?
Come back this way. There's a stairwell that heads down.
Okay.
Alternatively, you could head up to the top floor to the roof from there.
The roof is probably a better idea. I don't really fancy going downstairs through security.
Fair enough.
All right. You can find a. You can find a. Actually, okay. The main stairwell requires keycard tasks to get into. However,
In a state of security lockdown, all keycards are inoperable.
well, yeah, there's that. However, but in a similar situation, in a building which if there's in case of a fire and such, there has to be fire exits.
That was the thing I was about to do.
There's the emergency stairwell. Now, opening the door to an emergency stairwell would set off the alarms.
Yeah, it
The
would.
alarms are.
But the alarms are already going off.
Yep, they are.
Aha!
And I'm going to pull a fire alarm just for shits and giggles. Every escape needs sprinklers.
All right. Well, you pull the fire alarm. You get a jet of ink on your hand while doing it. But
A what?
a lot of fire
Oh,
alarms
do
actually.
they not have those in UK?
No.
It's because people aren't as big at dicks, apparently. in the
Yeah,
UK.
apparently not. a lot of
In order to cut down pranks, some fire alarms are outfitted with a device that, if you set them off, then it sprays ink over you, so you will be
Oh.
easily identified if it's a
I
prank.
wasn't aware of that. I'll use the lab coat over my hand to pull the
Fair enough. You would be aware of that. So yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
Your lab coat now has a bunch. The lab coat that you were carrying with you now has ink all over it.
Yay.
You pretty do sprint up the staircase to the top floor.
Yeah, anything, just as a side note as well, anything that I've picked up, like disguises, I'm keeping with me. I'm not leaving DNA of any kind in the research lab.
That's smart. I approve.
And sprinting
Those
to the
will
top
have
floor.
full John clones.
Oh, jeez. Yes, we have just created the latest batch of unemployment elementals.
Oh yeah, the ink is technically invisible ink. It's technical through black light, but again, you don't have it on the.
On me.
You don't have it on you. You have it on the coat that you're not wearing.
Yes. Right, away we go. Up the stairs to the roof. I am expecting a van there to meet me.
Or something.
Or
Or
just-
something.
Can the van hover?
Not really. No.
Well, I can provide air
I'm-
support. I can pick you up.
Yeah.
I was going to poke Dr. Arcane to go and hover him over, as in use move object.
Yeah.
Well, Dr. Kane has to get up to get to the area, but you can do that. So Dr. Kane flies up, and you get up there about the time that John gets to the roof. Now, I will say this: going up to the roof was definitively the right move because they wouldn't expect. Normally, you don't expect a thief to book it to the roof.
You haven't been watching enough movies.
Well, there is security up there. There is security that's going up, but that's staying up. But
I've got a head start.
yeah. Also, fire alarms are now going off, which they're pretty. Which they sort of what the fuck? They go, well, no, that's clearly an attempt to distract us.
Yeah.
They see through that one.
It doesn't stop all the officers and scientists and office people like filing down the stairs and slowing them down.
Right. So there. This is true. The staircase actually. Yeah, I'm going to say that you actually managed to avoid most of the rush.
Yeah, because I was quick. I was.
Yeah, well, yeah, right. You pulled the alarm, and then you were in the staircase. So,
Yeah.
so yes, Dr. Arcane is on the roof and hovers you off.
Yay!
Should we make up supervillain names for ourselves? I want to be Professor Bad Magic. I'm not very good at this.
I was just going to say, this is like the most Shadowrun version of Mutants and Masterminds I've ever seen.
Welcome to John's version of heroics.
This was
What
a
needs-
very Shadowrun move. I'm the drone.
Shit
I'm the
needs
Decker.
to be done. Yeah, shit needs to be done. Don't tell Erin.
Oh, what you mean? The guy who's been listening to the communications the whole time?
Yes.
He's just kind of got his head down in the van.
Fnord. Anyways,
Item get.
yeah, and you're back in the van now, and you have a bunch of crystals and a large transmitter-y looking thing.
Before
There
we
you go,
go
technological
anywhere,
people.
Before we go anywhere or do anything else, I want to check my detector and see if there's anything else in the building.
Nothing is currently broadcasting in the building.
Okay. Let's get out of here.
I'll relay the piece of information about the scientist dude that was like he had some connection to make blah blah blah. He was some sort of critical thing. Then I just pinched it. So I don't know what state the transmitter's in. It was being worked on at the time. Be careful.
So yes, you have the large, a large transmitter device, which looks like it's probably fully operational. It is not currently broadcasting.
Alright.
and we have crystals for New Age.
And you have a bunch of the crystals that you various sizes that are the same type that you found in that were in the little communicator thingies. The discs.
Interesting. I suppose if they were attempting to mass produce them, they would have had to break them down to understand them first.
Or perhaps bigger crystals equals amplification.
Well, there are a bunch of crystals of a bunch of different sizes. And the device in question, if you open up and peek inside, is it has several large crystals in it. Yes.
Yeah.
Hey, Aaron.
Crystals aren't like magically active at all, are they? We're not like
Nope.
we're not actually looking at new agey like techno science, are we?
Nope.
Okay.
You're looking at sciencey science.
Gotcha.
Honestly, most of them seem to be various sort of it seems to be some sort of variant on quartz, basically. It's quartz.
All right.
It's quartz with some sort of impurities in it, basically, along sort of it.
Quantum quartz. It's got 2 Q's.
Okay.
Yes.
Let's QQ more pew pew.
That is alliteration.
Yes. So, Aaron, why is your forehead red?
It's slowly but surely been just pushing his head further and further as the mission went on.
That was an Avatar: The Last Airbender reference. Hey, I think that kid's the Avatar.
Oh God,
That was such a good episode.
you guys make this so difficult for me sometimes.
Don't try and bring them into this. It's mostly me.
I'm trying to spare you a little bit.
To be fair, I did nothing but encourage and assist him.
We have crystals.
Indeed. This was what we came here for, and this is for the greater good, so I'm certain a little burglary can be overlooked.
See, I like her.
I think that you'll have to convince me.
Well, they're obviously researching dangerous technologies for
What
use,
did we actually gain from this?
They don't have
John's
this.
criminal record now stretches to the West Coast?
Who the fuck's got a record on me?
I like to imagine that John just like keeps like a little notepad that says every single thing of dubious morality I have ever done.
No, he keeps a notepad of people I've gotten arrested today.
To be fair, he did abscond with some device that looks like it's some sort of communication device.
Let's head back to my cave. I can analyze these things better there.
Well, hold on, before we go. Are we still getting a signal from inside the building?
No.
No, I checked that.
It's all done.
Yes.
Okay.
We're
No
unlikely
return
to pick up
trips.
other devices with this huge thing here also.
Well,
Not to mention the entire building's on lockdown, so...
The device in question that you have is not currently broadcasting or anything like that at the moment. It's not turned on.
There's no other signals being broadcast in the area. So
Nope. The only signal you're getting is the one that you think is coming from orbit.
Okay.
Speaking of which, while we're on the way, can she triangulate the position?
Yeah,
of that?
it's you can get a rough position in orbit. Yeah.
So it is actually in orbit and not light years away.
Nope, it's definitely in orbit.
Okay.
Hmm.
Well, I guess we'll go get our van outfit for space travel.
I worked in neuroscience, not astrophysics.
Who said you were going to do that?
Tony can do it.
Tony
can
will
do
do it.
anything.
Got a penguin for that.
Tony, the van's great. Can you make it fly into space?
It's already airtight for underwater. You just need to be pressurized. Jesus.
Yeah, see, it's designed. Well, technically, it would be able to withstand. It's designed to withstand actual pressure of being underwater, which means it should be able to handle being in space. Yes.
I just remember that leap in Teen Titans where they had the T sub, and then they were like, "Okay, well it's airtight, so let's take it into space now."
Yeah, just put big boosters
Look,
on
we
it.
gotta go find Starfire, okay?
I'm just sort of thinking about this. You know, it's like it's sort of the inverse of the whole thing from Futurama when they try to take the ship underwater.
Yes.
Well,
Well, how many atmospheres can it withstand, Professor?
well,
Well, it's built for the pressureless vacuum of space, so I'd say anything between 1 and 0.
yes, Dio in the chat's right, and re-entry might be a problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking about that.
All right, well,
Details.
honestly,
Space travel has nothing to do with details.
nothing whatsoever.
Or math.
So you have a device thingy and a bunch of crystals.
Right.
All right, I'm going to attempt analysis on the device to figure out.
All right,
what
so the question is,
and how it
are you leaving the labs at this point? Is the one question I need to add.
No, we're
I think
conducting
we're long
this,
gone by now.
outside
Yeah,
the
the
scene of
the
crime.
suspicious van parked outside while all hell was breaking loose inside.
I'm just checking.
Can you imagine a security guard walking up? Excuse me, you don't happen to have any highly sensitive research materials in the back of that van, do you?
Nope. Drink.
Oh,
No, we're
No, it's just
superheroes.
children.
Why would superheroes do that?
This is when the superheroes have advanced equipment.
yeah.
Well, we have advanced equipment, but not not.
Yeah, Sophia just steps out. Hi.
No, to be fair, John, just for the sheer snark of it, John would probably do it. Just what are you accusing of us? Exactly.
All right, so you guys head back. You guys head to Sophia's cave. Then that is what I think the plan was.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, you're there. You're able to. You said you wanted to investigate the device.
Yes.
All right. So, what are you doing to do so?
I'm basically going to look at it with varying equipment and whatnot to see what the device is used for, how it operates, and that kind of thing. Just kind of a general diagnostic before I attempt to do anything with it.
Okay, that's cool.
32.
Okay. All right. The device in question, it looks like it was originally designed purely to be a it was sort of in a large version of the much enlarged version of the discs, but sort of configured in a way to act more like a sort of a communications device. So not like you plug someone in directly, but to link into whatever the devices link into.
It's a reception booster.
Kinda, but it's almost like it's like the scientists were trying to design a device that could communicate with the basically like it's not really a booster. It's more a sort of like a ham radio almost, but for the Unity in a weird way. Well, the thing is, that's what they were trying to build. You get the impression it's been changed since then. You can see that was the original build for it. And you're pretty sure that they activated it and were completely befuddled by what they were getting out of it, because it was transmitting what it was connecting into effectively audio.
Oh.
Oh.
Yeah, kinda. Yeah. Large jumble of noises. What you probably get out of it.
Somebody needs to hurry up and do the lab on that universal translator.
Well, it's not just that it's the translator problem. It's that it was basically broadcasting, a stream
Millions of voices.
millions of thoughts, from varying species. Mostly Strix, but its current incarnation looks like it's designed. It looks like it's sort of effectively designed to be. It looks like the changes have been made to make it more narrow band, almost like turn to actually more of a pure communicator.
Interesting.
So to broadcast into into and out of the Unity, but to be able, you're guessing with that role, you're and your knowledge of neuroscience, sort of to tune into one particular mind at a time.
Oh, that's not a. That doesn't have potential for abuse at all.
No, not at all.
Gentlemen, it is a mind-reading device.
Well, again, it only really taps into the broadcast.
It was jacked into the Unity.
Exactly.
Yeah. Still does that, however.
Well, not really so much. You're not sure it could actually read minds per se. Though it's hard for you to know because none of you actually have really none of you use the devices, so you don't know exactly how it would work. Because none of you are dumb enough to hook yourselves into the Unity. Despite me giving you multiple opportunities to try putting the devices on yourselves to find out what was going on. Of course, I assumed you wouldn't because none of you are morons.
I almost did. No. There's a reason for it because apparently Raptora said that she managed to actually physically, mentally fight it off and remove her own things. And John's like, "Oh, if you can do it, I can."
Anything you could do, I can do better. There's a song about it, about me being better than you.
Yeah.
So, anyways, that's what you got. That is what
The Unity would reject John.
No, not really. They're
The Unity would become John, not the other way around.
All of the space ants disguise themselves as each other.
It'd be like the Meteor episode of Billy and Mandy. Bring me brains.
Oh dear. So, what are you doing now? You've got that's what you have in this device.
We have the cookie. Did we have a plan past having the cookie?
All right, let me ask you this, Micah. You said that. Did you say that John picked up all of the spare communicators? That
He said nothing about picking up any communicators.
Okay, so then.
I didn't realize it was communicator. Sorry, I did generally say grab as much as I could, but I generally did it was a.
I will say this: you didn't notice any communicators lying around.
Yeah, and apparently they weren't being picked up. So if they're still out there, they're not active, so they're not coming up on signal.
Yep.
So while we do have some more alien technology and a bit more of an idea of what we're dealing with, we're not certain where these last few devices are.
If there are any still intact.
Right.
You're certain that they probably to build this device they probably had to dismantle several of them, a bunch of them, because that's how this sort of thing works. That's how reverse engineering works.
Yeah. I gotta surmise that's what they were doing. Would you say it would take about 5 to have the parts needed to come up with this?
At a minimum.
All right, yeah. So this is probably our 5 remaining communicators right here.
Roughly, yeah.
We can hope.
You can hope. Actually, 5. You guess at a minimum 4. I would say that.
Well, there's the potential for another set out there. Raptora's set.
You have Raptora's set.
Oh, do we? Okay.
Yep.
Sophia's going to compile a spreadsheet of all the ones that we know of and have accounted for.
There are that you know of and are accounted for. There were 5 that were likely to that were likely at this lab place. Sorry, there were 5 that were effectively accounted for. You guess that this device accounts for at least 4 of them.
All right.
So there's at your sort of estimation, at most 1 more set unaccounted for.
Well, on the good news, there's at most only 1 left to deal with. The bad news is there's potentially 1 left to deal with. And we don't know where it is.
I could go back in and have a look if you want.
No.
I think you've done your duty for the day, John.
Actually, on that note, I'll be right back.
Okay. Ah, damn it. Let me look over my skills. Mecha.
Yes.
I have the contacts advantage and whatnot, and I am connected. So, is there anyone in the field of advanced telecommunications that I know of that I can get in touch with to help us find this damn thing?
Find this thing? Maybe. Give me an investigation roll. You could to look for a contact. I mean,
21.
all right. And I'm trying to think of how they would actually be able to help you find the last device.
We have the materials here, and we know roughly how they work.
Yeah.
All it really seems like a matter to me is, do they leave some kind of, I don't know, a ripple when they're used or something like that? Even when inactive?
Well, I will say this, Word, as before you actually contact anybody, as far as you know, you're the only person who's who's built something that's able to track the signal in any way, shape, or form.
That's fine. I'm looking for someone who's more theoretically knowledgeable, if that makes sense.
All right, so what you're looking for is a high energy physicist, then.
I guess, yeah. Sure, why not?
Because this is involving exotic particles, which means you're looking for, a theoretical physicist of some sort.
Contact Gordon Freeman immediately. He knows things about bugs from space.
Okay, before you do that, I do want to, let's see. I'm trying to think of what you guys would probably know that you may be forgetting that I may not have been clear about. All right. So I'm just going to go over a couple points. Okay, what you know is that 5 of the devices were taken to the lab, and the one thing you do know is that I'm going to ask you guys again. I'm going to ask you guys this this is for the group, not just you.
Okay.
So how have the device? What has been the sort of pattern for how the devices have been passed around?
Superhero to superhero.
But no. That's not the step I'm talking about.
Hand to hand. In person.
You're missing a little bit. What has happened each time that someone has been given the devices?
They've been told to redistribute them.
No.
They paid more.
The person that the contact has had the devices put on them.
Right.
So that meant somebody at the lab had them. Was wearing them, and as far as you know, those devices, when they're being worn, are always on.
So we should look for an active signal.
And you're getting no active signals.
So, wait.
That means that
Who was out sick today?
Oh.
That's not where I was going, but that's definitely a point that would work. That's definitely something you could look into. There are a couple possibilities. That's actually a good possibility. Another possibility. There are several possibilities. What I was going for. So someone who had the device on them might not have been at work today. They might have been forcibly removed from the person who had them for some reason.
I was also thinking that might be the case.
All right, so that's a possibility. And the other point I do want to make is the type of laboratory this is, and some of the things I've said about it already.
I've honestly forgotten what this laboratory does.
They're a research laboratory. They're part of Anders Conglomerated, and the reason you weren't able to find the blueprints easily was
because they're confidential government stuff.
Uh-huh.
Uh-oh.
Oh hell. Did he stick one on, like, the president?
Nope, that's not what that's not necessarily
Well,
where I'm
that
going.
wouldn't be the connection, but
It's not necessarily someone important is wearing them currently.
but somebody important might have them.
Right.
Right.
Or might have been directing. It might have come with the angle of research they're going for. Just saying that's a possibility. That's the sort of thing that, since Gav's Gav's stepped away, that's the sort of thing that John probably would have thought of.
I'm here. I'm eating.
Wrathbreaker is actually kind of on spot on the angle I'm sort of talking about. DARPA.
Yeah. Bad news.
We must confront Sigint.
We're fighting the good guys as well as the bad guys. Because the good guys are dumb.
Speak for yourself.
DARPA's pretty much always the bad guys. Except when they're good guys. But,
Yeah.
no, they're bad guys.
Okay, so...
Alright, so we need to figure out what to do about possible DARPA connections then. About them having big, spooky, mind control, influencing devices.
Can I just like Google up who in DARPA or any relevant agency would be in command of this place, unless it is Anders? Like, what connection would be the most logical if it were someone in charge of this place? Mecca?
There. I accidentally muted myself. Sorry.
Ah.
Okay, so, all right. So the situation is that you're looking for their connection to DARPA, or whatever.
Whatever.
Through your research, the only direct connection the government this lab has, they definitely had DoD contracts.
Right.
So. And you were not able to get any sort of list on exactly who from the DoD that was directly connected. That is not, you were not able to access that information.
Ah, damn it.
That has much higher clearance than you were able to hack into.
All right. The train of thought I was going on was if we could figure out who the connection was, then Dr. Arcane could use a scrying ritual on them and we could check their temples.
Hmm.
If we don't actually have a person to specifically look for, then that's just...
Then we have problems, yeah.
Yeah, that's just kind of
Okay.
a waste of effort.
Yep. I'm just going to say one thing. Assuming that the devices after they were taken off where they're put onto, since that seems likely, was not immediately put onto somebody else. What do you guys think the most likely reaction that the DoD or DARPA would have in terms of what they would want to use these devices for?
Well, I can think of a bunch of tactical uses for them.
Right.
You could use them to influence heads of state in foreign countries and all this other stuff. You use them for instantaneous communication with ground troops and command. You use them to form better cohesion in the armed forces in general. There's 1,000 different applications for these. All of
Right.
Use them to scramble communications amongst the enemy.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, okay. So those are all definite possibilities. The question is, do you think it's likely that they would actually have it set up so that the device would directly that they were building more? They would build more of these devices as they stand.
No, they would have to rig up a way that separates them from the Unity.
Right. Okay. I just want to check to make sure that you that.
I mean,
just,
duh, it's so obvious.
I know, but I want to just make that clear. Because so I just want to remind you of one important note. These aren't really strictly speaking mind control devices.
Right.
No,
Okay, so I just want to make that clear.
they're communications, and they allow the Gestalt to influence, if not outright overtake the.
I kind of want to say that it's a mechanical psionic device.
That's basically what it is. Yes, that is almost literally what it is. So yeah.
So yeah.
Well, what I'm saying is that it's okay. Anyways, I just I'll let you guys go from there. I just want to make sure that I had explained I figured I wasn't being as clear on some of the stuff as I could have been. So I figured I want to just clear that up before I forgot to. Before you guys went off on an angle that I was not remotely prepared for,
Right.
and would have gone basically nowhere.
This does mean that the lab might have some sort of shielding tech to prevent the Unity from influencing whoever is wearing the cookies. Which means he might still be in there. Because then we wouldn't be able to would have been able to detect the device either.
Nope. Yep, the lab is not shielded off from this. Nope, not at all. That's definitively true.
Uh-oh. I may have missed this conversation, but... Okay, we've already said. Who owns this building?
Anders Conglomerated, technically. Technically, the building belongs to Infinitech Laboratories.
Yeah.
Who are a wholly owned subsidiary of Anders Conglomerated.
How many like research labs and conglomerates and all this sort of thing does Anders actually own?
A lot.
Yeah. That'd be a really nice resource pool for any invading alien force, wasn't it?
Technically true.
Have any of you actually met this Anders person before?
Yes.
Yes.
Briefly.
Dr. Arcane, would you be able to scry this Anders individual just to clear our minds of any worries?
I can try, yeah. Alright, Peter. I'm gonna let you figure out what the difficulty for this is, because I don't have a sympathetic link.
Right. Give me a thaumatology roll, and I'll tell you. It's a long-range scry, too, so...
It's a long-range scry with no sympathetic link on someone I don't know very well.
28.
You have met them personally.
Yeah, I'm just sort of... But going off the sort of fluff for Eric's magic, I understand where he's going for on this. Alright, you can get... so what is again? What is the scrying? Your scrying spell? It was sort of visual mostly, if I remember correctly.
Visual mostly, yeah.
Yeah, checking temples.
It was basically visual and auditory.
Visual and auditory, yeah.
All right, you're able to get a quick look. He's currently in his limo, driving somewhere. He looks like David. I believe his first name was David. He looks like David. And hang on, I can look at the doc. I think the name's actually in the document. Duh.
Mm-hmm.
1 second, let me make sure I got his first name right. But it's Anders. You give me a perception check.
Just Dr. Arcane or any of us?
It's just Dr. Arcane.
It's just me. I'm the only one who can see it.
Okay. Thought it might be like focusing our crystal ball or something.
That's actually not bad.
It's Michael Anders is what it was. 23. Okay. He doesn't. You don't see any of the devices on his forehead or anything like that.
And his temples aren't covered or anything.
Nope.
He seems to be clean.
Okay, then we would probably be okay at contacting him.
Best way to do that would be through night.
Yeah.
Because it's not like we don't have like his personal cell phone or anything.
All right. Well, whatever means to the end. In this case.
So what is it you're doing at this point?
It seems that we're going to be contacting Knight to basically get us a phone audience with Anders.
Why? What? No, hang on. What we're trying to achieve there? I was just making sure that they didn't go all the way to the top of the Anders food chain, so to speak.
Yeah. The idea I'm going off of here is that if we communicate with him that one of his subsidiaries is in trouble of alien invasion, he'd be interested in, finding out which ones.
Mm.
And that might get us some more information to act on.
One thing, Doc, can you do that scrying again? Can you check Knight?
Knight would probably be easier because I actually know him relatively well.
Yeah.
Go for it.
This is just John's paranoia kicking in.
Okay. I understand.
Ugh.
He's warded. That's so rude.
Honestly, he might be.
Yeah, after the whole Atlantean thing.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying. Like, he might actually be warded at this point.
Yeah.
He might have. Honestly, you might have warded. He wouldn't have hired you to ward him. He might have hired hired a wizard to give him some sort of warding because, well.
Yeah.
So yeah, you don't have a good scry in him now.
Bathroom ward.
I'm glad he took my advice, but
Damn it.
Does Knight have anyone in close association that you'd be able to contact or check up on?
what was her name? Mercedes?
Yep.
Yeah, I'll give Mercedes a call.
Okay. After about 4 or 5 rings, the phone answers like, "Hello?
Hi, it's Dr. Kane. I was wondering if you'd do me a favor.
Okay, I do owe you guys one.
Can you just check to make sure that Dr. Knight doesn't have any little electrodes on his temple or anything? There'd be small discs, silver discs, roughly about the size of your fingernail. He might have covered them with latex or what have you.
Yep, I'll go check. Yes, you just asked his body. You just implied to his bodyguard that something bad might be happening. Might have happened to Dr. Kane. She's definitely going to go check.
Mm-hmm.
I'll call you back. Click.
Okay.
About 10 minutes later, she calls you back. Nope, he seems to be fine. He was irritated I was checking, but when I explained that you guys that you called and that you wanted me to double check things, he sort of accepted it.
Oh, good. Okay. Well, we're just pursuing a few leads. We're missing a few, so we want to make sure they didn't get in the wrong hands.
Doc.
What? What?
Tell her.
That we need to talk to Anders.
No, we don't. Just be careful. Tell her to tell him. Be careful about if Anders offers you anything technological in the next few days or so. Matching that description.
John says that you should watch out if Anders offers any of you similar devices in the next few days. Also, he misses you. Click.
It's been a while. Don't forget, dude, I'm a master of disguise and mimicking people, and you've got a girlfriend.
Don't do that. That'd be... Actually, yes, do that, and then let her find out.
Yeah, she already doesn't like John.
And we'll hold a very nice funeral for you.
She's got to find out first.
Technically, you would have to do it first.
Yeah.
I think she could find out fairly easily.
Wait, hang on. What are you talking about here?
That's out of character. Stop that.
John does have his limits. Impersonating one half of a couple just for a freebie, he's one of them.
even what I was thinking of.
That's what I was getting
Was it-
implications.
No, I'm going off the idea of she probably knows his magical signature.
Yeah.
And you would go in there without one. And they'd be like, nope. John, what are you doing?
See, you do remember that she is actually a wizard.
An actual real wizard, not someone that needs a robot suit.
Well, that's it. The Doc doesn't have a magical signature without the suit.
That's not entirely untrue, because he does still use basic ritual magic. He's just not very good at it. It takes him longer than it should.
Also, Mercedes is actually quite good at scrying. Not Mercedes,
Yeah.
Hippolyta.
Yeah.
What
Mercedes
with-
really isn't good at scrying.
No, she's really bad at it, actually. Given she is.
Mercedes actually is a great at scrying as long as it involves a closed circuit television system.
Yeah.
She's good at running, however.
Yes, she is, and several other things in combat.
Yeah, she's pretty good at breaking things.
Yes, she is. Anyways, so okay, you've dealt with that. What next?
Well, there goes the idea of using Knight as a go-between to set up an
I don't think we need to go to Anders. It was just me checking. I'm guessing it's going to be like somebody. If it's going to be somebody involved at this corporation, it's going to be like the president of this corporation. The plan may be to escalate it further up the chain eventually, but for now, I think it doesn't go too high.
Can I internet information up the a picture of the president of this building?
Sure.
All right.
Google.
Yes.
You can easily get a picture of the. It's on their main page. The CEO of the laboratory. The CEO and the guy who owns the company. The guy the lead of this company. That's not a problem.
Yes.
Yeah. Can you scry this guy?
Doc can try.
I think you may be muted, Eric.
Oh, am I still muted?
Nope.
Nope.
Okay.
You can hear.
Sorry. Yeah, I can try to scry this guy. Sure.
Right. Everybody. Dude, he's on the toilet.
All right, you've got a scry on the guy.
Oh, I shouldn't be watching this.
No, he seems to be sitting in his. He seems to be sitting in an office, and he seems to be currently chewing out a bunch of security guys. Actually, the chief of security.
Oh, dude, burn me a
Dave
DVD.
Johnson.
Burn me a DVD.
No, this guy is not Cave Johnson. This guy's an actual, honest, legitimate, actual scientist. Not a former curtain salesman. Which is
Poor Cave Johnson.
why would you feel sorry for Cave?
I feel really bad for Cave.
I don't feel that bad for Cave.
I did develop a laser that turns your blood into gasoline.
The man was nuts. Brilliant, but nuts. And he lived a fairly long life.
All things considered, yeah.
I mean, he made it into the 1980s and was had awards for being the best curtain salesman in 1945, I think. So he had to been at least like 20 at that point. So he's
somewhere in the 60s, 70s.
60s, 70s. He had a reasonable life. I mean, yeah, his death wasn't great, but. And
Okay,
In any
so
event, temple check.
we're still left wondering what.
yes, and Eric, I will say this: you don't have to make any rolls. He does not have any devices on his temples or anything like that.
Okay. He's clean. I'm guessing the security officers in there are clean.
Yes.
All right, we're obviously missing some big hook with a juicy thing on it, but we're all facing the wrong direction, staring at a mirror. So.
Okay. Again, I will. Odds are, I don't think I was. Odds are okay. So I'll give you guys a little bit of sort of a little. I'm going to drop you guys a couple of little things, nuggets, just so. Odds are that I will say this: odds are that nobody is currently under the influence of the last device if it exists.
Okay.
I'm gonna give that to you guys as a freebie. You don't have to worry about anybody else currently being hooked into the Unity.
Well, of course, if they were, it would have picked up.
Right.
Plus the rest of the
I was looking
session
for the
would be us-
wounds.
Yeah, plus the rest of the session would be us going through a picture book of everyone that works in this building, getting not describe them all.
Right. And I will say this: the person who was likely to have had the device put on them was a scientist that Raptora knew.
Right.
Which
Oh,
means
that makes sense.
which means it probably wasn't someone high up on the chain.
Right.
I must have missed that detail somewhere. I didn't know.
That was mentioned last session.
I have been AFK.
That's fine. I'm just letting you know that. So,
Okay. Alright, that changes things.
yeah. So, again, this is why I was, this is why I'm making sure I'm stating this. Because,
Yeah.
as I said, it's possible I didn't make this clear also. So there's that. Odds are that if there is another device, it is in the hands of people doing research on it for the government for some reason or another. Now, if you want to look into that, that's perfectly fine, but you probably want to talk to people who have government connections at that point.
Right.
Now, people who do have government connection. You know people who do have government connections.
Yes, we knew.
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
There are other things you could look into if you want to, but in all honesty, the odds of the Scrix being able to use the discs anymore are basically non-existent.
All right. So effectively, we're pretty much in the clear then.
From that, yes.
All right.
And the important thing is that whatever else is going to be done that might have had some sort of effect, you have taken away the one thing that might have led to something possible with the device that John took out of the lab.
One thing I am going to actually do is I do want to try and get photo records of everyone working in that building. I want to try and identify the scientist that said he had clearance. The dude who was working on this device.
Mm-hmm.
Find out just what his field and expertise is. While these guys are doing the whole government bullshit.
Yeah, sure. That's fine. Whatever. Yeah, I can get. He's a. I can tell you this right now, Gav. He is a. God, he's primarily into. He's got a bunch of different degrees. He's actually reasonably high up the chain in the labs for obvious reasons. He is his primary field of research is cybernetics.
Whoa.
Phone
Whoa.
call.
Cybernetics, indeed.
Okay, I was worried that was my headphones glitching out, but it wasn't.
No.
Wasn't me either.
Pardon me for a bit. Gotta pick up food.
Okay.
Wonder when. I have no idea what we're gonna do with food. I'm hungry.
Yes, yeah. Major Sands in the chat asked, mysteries and RPGs, are they usually like this? Yeah.
I feel bad because I got nothing I can do.
Well, honestly, I didn't intend this to be as much of a mystery as it became.
It's because we have to investigate this. And it's like, maybe we don't.
No, you really don't. I didn't make this clear enough. I'm sorry.
Okay.
What happens when we
So
have John? This is what happens when you have John in the party.
Well, to be fair, you did the one last bit that was potentially a concern. John actually did take out of the hands of the lab guys.
yes.
I will say is that device could have had some unfortunate consequences had it been used improperly. That's all I'm going to say.
And now John has it.
Now Sophia has it.
Now John can use it.
So does this mean that we're done on this coast?
Maybe. It's up to you guys.
I mean, we still have the issue with something that could be as simple as a relay station, but might be as dangerous as a battleship.
Yep. But that's in orbit.
Which we can't do much about because we don't have NASA
Nope.
or any contacts in NASA.
Yeah. Plus, it's like you said, it's in orbit. It's as close to Star City as it is here.
Yeah.
Pretty much, yeah.
So we could, I guess, at least get in contact with them and inform them about the situation.
Yeah. But yeah, I will say this. The point I was making about government contacts is that you do know somebody who is, you know, someone fairly, you know, two people at least who have significant government contacts. I know them fairly well.
Knight and Smith.
Doc Knight and Anderson. Not Anderson.
Smith.
Smith. Thank you.
You sort of know Anderson, but you don't particularly like him.
Yeah, he is a jerk.
The thing is, the Doc at least would have contacts that he could probably, you know, business contacts, so he could probably be a bit more discreet. Smith is kind of inside, he'd have to go by the book. But then again, he's very smart, so he could probably cover his tracks.
Well, it depends on what you're asking him to do. I mean...
Right.
John always works on the worst situation and moves down.
Well, no, my point is, what is it you want to ask Smith about in particular? Get in contact with the government about is the question. I mean...
Well, from my point of view, as blunt as possible, why is the government working on these headset things, and instead of just getting rid of them?
The government's not working on... Oh, right, they are. Darn,
Yeah.
I forgot all about that for a second.
They're reverse engineering them. So that's not working out how they work. That's
Like I
wanting to
said,
make
there
more.
are 10,000 different different applications that are immediately and astronomically beneficial, and just as many that are immediately and astronomically detrimental to civil rights and humanities.
Yeah.
Often they are the same thing.
I'm back. Sorry about that.
Not a problem.
So that guy was involved in cybernetics, huh?
Yep.
I wonder if I knew him.
Probably. You probably knew him. You sort of... Honestly, if you wanted to, you could. You have
Sure, why
contacts.
not?
You have contacts, so sure.
All right, sure.
But yes,
Wait a minute. That got copied off of my tests.
it's entirely possible. But yeah, he's cybernetics. Actually, a lot of the same fields you actually know. Sophia knows actually. Now I'm thinking about it. It's like, yeah. About the only one he has that's not really an overlap with you is theoretical physics.
Right.
But that's not his main field. That's sort of one of his sort of side things. He's got a degree. He doesn't have a PhD in that.
Just as a hobby. Yeah.
Well, it's something he dabbled in. So yes, as we were saying, basically, the long story short is to be clear, the odds of there being none of these devices are being used by anybody, as I covered, and the last device is probably in the hands of the government, being worked on in some way, shape, or form for being researched in some way to be used in some sort of fashion, which you guys don't know what it is, and will not be easily found out found out by you guys, since none of you guys are actually, you know, part of the government, really.
Could be.
Right.
Yes, John could pretend to be someone attached to these things, but he would have to go to the effort to actually go to the right place and find that out, etc., etc. If you really want to take that line of investigation, I can hack it, but
No.
okay.
No.
I mean, we can continue doing the whole superhero Shadowrun thing if we really insist.
No. I'll take a breather.
And I imagine if we kept doing that, I think that Wire would get incredibly bored since he's the driver.
Plus,
Hey, we're gonna spend about 3 more hours hacking into computers and stuff. You just sit here.
John would eventually end up as like the president. So.
Yeah, and that would have absolutely no potential horrible side effects. Have horrible drawbacks to it.
Nope.
For John specifically. Oh, so you've been impersonating the president, have you? Oh dear.
Who has?
You. See, we actually have an actual government telepath here who's actually scanning you, and you're clearly not the president, and you're clearly not who you're currently pretending to be. So the question is...
I want to work it in as a trait that if any telepath tries to get into John's brain, they're just like, oh my god!
That's probably something you could buy from as an ability.
Yeah.
We can look at that later.
It's a feature.
At any rate, so as you guys basically sort of figured out, you're basically done with most of with anything I can think of on the West Coast, unless something you guys, unless something I'm clearly not thinking of.
I think. Well, Superiana's out of the hospital, right?
Nope, she's still in the hospital.
Has Anderson tried to take her into her custody again?
Nope.
After.
Nope. No. He's been told by people on high that that's a terrible that would have terrible implications for both his career and the NSCA as a whole.
Okay.
And she's in good enough shape that she could beat his ass anyway.
Yeah. Honestly, yeah. What you guys were doing, honestly, is now that she's conscious, it's probably for his own personal best interest and safety, and his people who work for him.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because while she's not in anywhere near the best of health, and the doctors don't really want her to leave the hospital in her current state, she could. And while Anderson is actually a very competent and dangerous individual, he is not Superiana. And most of, I will say this: Anderson is a powered individual. He's not like, you know.
He's like power level 5.
Well, no. He's power level higher than that, but his ability...
Well, power level 5 is... yeah.
Oh, no, he might actually be a power level 10 character, but he doesn't have actual, like, you know, superpowers that are that particularly big powerful.
Superiana kind of easily kicked 3 of our asses at once.
Yes.
So.
Yes.
Zodiac is spot on. He has the same power level as Smith. Smith's actually a very dangerous individual on his own also.
Yeah.
And don't forget, they both have access to high technology gadgets and such, much like John does.
Now, the 3 of them enter one ring. We all know that John is going to be the one who exits because John.
Yeah.
He may not look like John, but it will be John.
And Major Sense is completely right. Just because you're PL10 does not mean you meet the offensive defensive caps maximum.
Yeah. You could have
There's
put
also
the powers into other things.
Oh yeah, the points and other things. Yes, and in Smith's case, a lot of them have gone into other things. Like, Smith actually has a legitimate superpower. He is honestly, for people who've read Dune, he's basically a mentant. He's a human computer, basically.
All right.
That sounds familiar.
Yeah, there are things he can do in his head that I don't think Sophia can do.
But there's also things Sophia can do that he can't.
Oh, sure, absolutely. Absolutely. There are a lot of things you can do that he can't. But he can do statistical regression in his head without, like stuff that you require like computers to do. That like statistical analysis that you need computers to do. He can do in his head quickly.
Yeah.
As I said, he's basically a mentant. At any rate,
It's terrifying.
yes.
Since it's a new day, I think.
Oh yeah.
Since the last time we visited Superiana, correct?
Uh-huh.
I would like to say that Sophia does want to like just drop in and check up on her and say thank you once again.
Sure. All right. You guys can swing by the hospital.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So you swing by the hospital. You head in. There are still some cops outside that are basically there, mostly to keep
keep idiots out.
Yeah, basically to keep idiots out. Yeah, basically. As you approach the door, you do hear an argument from inside.
Oh, God damn it, not again.
You get actually, it's very clear what's being. Well, you can hear one voice arguing very loudly. It's Superiana basically arguing. You very quickly realize that it's Superiana basically saying that why the hell shouldn't she be able to leave now? She can move under her own power. And you get the impression the doctors are having none of that.
Oh, doctors sure get ballsy, don't they?
Oh, they are doctors.
Yeah.
So yes, you actually open the door, and when you open the door in, you basically hear Superior says, "Look, Doc, do you know what I can do to you?" And the doctor says, "I am quite aware of what you're capable of doing to me, but But again, I'm saying that you are not in any shape to leave the hospital yet. I know I know. I'm quite aware of what you're capable of doing. And I don't care. You're not in shape to leave the hospital just yet. Now, please lie back down. And you have some visitors. Behave yourself, would you?
Yay.
Spencer glares at him. Bring doctors.
And goes sits in a corner.
Lies back down in her bed. She goes, "Oh, hi."
Hello there.
The doctor walks in and says, "She puts up a good front, but she's actually in more pain than she's actually letting on.
Duly noted.
If it gets bad, take the pills." And he leaves.
Pills, whatever. Actually, before he leaves, I'm going to ask him, given her current rate of recovery, how much longer do you think she will have to stay?
Honestly, while she is physically capable of leaving, I'm concerned that if she exerts herself, she will actually re-injure herself badly. It's there's a lot of she took a lot of internal damage, and while we've been able to through to some we have treated people whose skin is basically impervious before, so we have some experimental medical devices that can help treat that sort of thing. They are not fast, and while she heals quickly, she doesn't, regenerate. Like, she doesn't regenerate at an extreme rate or anything like that. So, honestly, she really should stay in bed for at least another week before she even thinks about, flying home or anything like that. Or doing it. And I would say at least a month before she actually exerts herself in any significant manner.
Well, we could transport her. She wouldn't have to fly using her powers.
Well, as long as you can find some way to make sure she gets at least another week worth of actual honest to God rest without actually exerting herself in any way, he says, raising her voice, that would be fine. Preferably with some sort of medical personnel keeping an eye on her, and that she does not exert herself for at least a month.
Excellent subliminal messaging, Doctor.
Subliminal?
I don't think it's subliminal so much as...
Sophia's grinning.
Right. Okay, then.
Right. If need be, if you want to transfer, if she insists on being transferred somewhere else, I can make sure that we give her proper prescriptions for the appropriate medications that she's supposed to be taking.
This doctor has to have a name.
Sure.
Doctor, the next time that we require negotiations with a super powerful individual, I think that we'll give you a call.
He chuckles. Yeah, his name is Dr. Williams, as an aside.
Cool.
Yay.
Dr. Cox. No.
Actually, he kind of is. He's sort of got the same attitude.
Well, Barbie, before you decide to go flying across the countryside, let me tell you what's gonna happen. Okay. Anyway, so
And
yeah,
Dr. Williams sort of says, "Now, take care, Superiana." Yeah, you too, Doc. She started lying there in the bed, sort of glaring holes in the wall with her arms crossed over her chest.
Enjoying your stay.
I'm bored.
Nickelodeon not doing it for you anymore, I see.
She points over the cup. I'm not. I'm not. The dosage of the dosage of the pain pills are not nearly as high. No.
Give her a Game Boy. And make sure it's the original Game Boy. That way when she gets frustrated, it'll actually be able to withstand her super strength.
Okay.
That's awesome, Raxus.
Well.
Well, they basically at this point they have taken her off the off of the not Valium. Crap. Vicodin. That's what it is.
Okay.
I just saw the image.
Yeah, the image is fantastic. The picture is great. Man.
That's
I can't see images.
I'll link it to you, Gav. I'll look in the Skype chat.
Okay. Well, let's see. Well, anyway. Oh,
Board.
well, you might be in luck because it seems that our business here on this coast is complete.
Uh-huh.
So we can take you back.
Okay.
You can't fly, but you can ride with us. The doctor said that he's willing to release you so long as you are still looked after properly.
I didn't say anything to the sword.
The
Oh,
other
wrong doctor.
Doctor.
The
medical-
doctor of medicine.
Still another week of bed rest. Drive me freaking insane.
Well, I can lend you my collection of Disney movies.
We
Oh,
do seem
goody.
to get a good amount of use out of those.
Sophia's going to stare at them.
Disney movies?
The Green Knight really likes them.
Burkhalek likes them?
I'm pretty sure
Burkhalak
Burkhalak
loves them. Are you kidding?
I'm pretty sure Burkhalak was using Brave as a training manual.
She sort of chuckles a bit.
Watched The Lion King like 3 times.
Okay, I can see that, actually. From what I've heard about him. As I said, I've never met the man, so... well, if it gets me out of this hospital, I'm down with that.
Page of the Sands, Dr. Arcane does have a real degree. He just doesn't have one in medical practice.
He doesn't have a medical license.
Yeah, he doesn't have a medical license. He does have multiple
I do have a
doctorates.
doctorate in
You've got multiple doctorates, don't you?
Yeah, I have doctorates in cryptozoology, thaumatology, applied thaumatology, and what was the other one?
Thaumaturgy.
Parapsychology.
Oh, Paris.
Home economics.
I have a GED.
I have whatever is relevant to neuroscience.
And I can get whatever I need.
All right. So, be honest, well, if it gets me out of this hospital, I'm down with it, just because I'm tired of this.
Braxis in the chat. Do you have Mulan? Huh? I mean,
I don't think so. Actually, like Mulan, considering the ending.
Yeah, she'd actually really like it up until about the ending, I think.
Yeah.
What movie is
wait,
this?
she doesn't become the Empress?
Right, basically.
Exactly.
You know,
Or
I
at
had
least
one
Which
of
is
the
weak.
generals-
And you're gonna go home and be a family bullshit. Incidentally, that's my problem with that damn movie too. Arr.
I think that's just about everyone's problem with that movie. It's really good up until that point where it's just like, no, I'm gonna go get married.
Yeah.
Haven't seen Mulan.
At the
no,
end,
I-
she saves all. At the end, she saves all of China, and she's invited into to be like part of the Emperor's council, and she turns it down because she just wants to go home.
And get married.
Fuck that noise!
Yeah.
I want to be a real girl.
You can be a real girl with gobs of power that you can use to make everything better for your friends and family.
What really gets me is that she does this so she can marry Shang,
Yeah.
except that there's nothing saying that she can't just do that anyway.
Yeah, they both have to
The
move
thing
in
is-
order to do that.
If she'd have stayed as like the warrior advisor, then she couldn't have joined the Disney princesses.
She could have. In fact, she would have been in a better position to join the Disney princesses because she would have had a high up position in the government,
And she would have actually had articles.
as
of
opposed
nobility.
to just some random person.
Yeah.
As it stands now, Leia pretty much just bitch slaps her around and goes, "You turned down what?"
Anyway.
Oh, that's a thought. Does that mean Leia's a Disney princess now?
Shut up, Gav! Everyone's made that joke!
That's the first time it's occurred. That's the first time it's occurred to me.
Yes, Disney even came out and outright said it and added her to lineups,
Oh,
which
dear.
really pissed people off.
At any rate, so Saberion, yeah, so as I said, Saberion is more than down with getting the hell out of here.
Alright, well,
She
what
says-
time of the day? What time of the day is it now?
It's probably late afternoon.
We'll wait till tomorrow.
Tomorrow? Yeah, it makes sense.
I'm not going to...
Yeah, no,
It's horrifying enough as it is that I have to fly a van. I'm not going to do it at night.
she blinks a little and says, yeah.
It'll give me time to set up a medical area in the back of the van anyhow.
Okay.
And I guess we should also... Well, actually, we should make sure that... we haven't even told Tony and Hiveminder, so...
Well, Hiveminder's still in the hospital.
Yeah, he's probably going to take a little bit longer.
Yes, he is. Hiveminder's going to be out of commission for a good long while. I'm just going to say that.
Yeah, it probably wouldn't be worth it to wait for him.
No,
Yeah,
don't.
But we'll inform Tony.
Tony is down with going home.
Want to go make
We should
cookies?
probably say goodbye to Hiveminder.
Yeah. We'll go pay him a visit.
Okay.
I don't know him that well, so I'm actually going to spend this time prepping the back of the van with medical equipment.
All right, so you guys go visit Hiveminder. He is lying back in the... He's actually currently in bed. He opens his eyes and he sort of waves to you somewhat weakly. Oh, hello.
Oh, Hiveminder.
Are you
Doing better?
holding up?
Oh, I'm doing okay. Hiveminder doing all right, I guess. Head hurts a lot.
Yeah, I can imagine.
We have a bit of good news. We can now guarantee that nobody else is under the influence of the devices.
Oh, that's good. Hiveminder happy. Oh,
We might not be finished with things, but we can rest a little bit easier right now.
good. He's quiet in here. Very quiet in here.
It seems that way. I think they keep it that way on purpose.
Oh, not just that. I mean, not just quiet from people. I mean, quiet.
Means in his head.
No, that's not what he means either, actually. I'm getting...
Oh.
Quiet from insects.
Yeah, that would be it.
Well, I think that they keep it that way on purpose too.
Yes, is a hospital. Doctor says Hiveminder will be here for at least a month.
Well, we are going to have to head out soon. We've
Okay.
got business stuff to take care of in Star City.
Good. Well, Hiveminder happy to have been of help. Hiveminder very happy to have helped clear up the mess Hiveminder caused.
Well, you did a really good job. And yeah. So, unless there's anything else we want to do, I guess we'll just leave him to rest.
Oh, okay.
Bye,
Be
what's
safe.
later?
Bye, later.
Hiveminder had plans.
Plans.
Yeah. So, all right, you guys prep up the back of the van. Sophia, you can get some... After consulting with the doctors and such, you can get the back of the van. I mean, I know you have some knowledge of that, but, you probably want to consult a couple doctors about it because, it's...
Not quite my field.
No, and also it's not quite the standard sort of transport either.
No, it isn't.
Because it's not your damn van.
But
Actually, it's a good thing we're leaving Hiveminder here. That means that we're not transporting one more person.
Yep. So yeah, so that can get set up fairly quickly, especially between with Sophia and Sophia's talent, Sophia's knack for gadgets and stuff, and if need be, Tony also, because
I'm also medically trained.
that's good.
It is good because I don't think any of us are.
Yeah, I have treatment 9, I think.
Well, there you go. All right, so unless there's anything else you want to do before the next day, you can leave. You can basically leave the hospital. Superiana is indignant about the fact that it is required that she goes out in a wheelchair, because that is actually that is policy in any hospital in this sort of situation.
I keep a poker face about this.
I do not.
John
I'm in
gets
the van.
John insists on pushing and shouting "Zoom."
Wow.
She actually sort of looks over her shoulder at John and says, John, I can still break your neck from right here. You know that, right?
You always could. I don't care.
Fair enough.
That's what I like about her. As long as you've got like the guts to not be a simpering jackass, she pretty much respects you.
Uh-huh.
All right, you get her. You get her into the van. She's moving a lot more slowly than she normally does. It's clear that she is aware that she's not in actually as good shape as she puts on.
Mhm.
Yeah.
She's moving, somewhat carefully.
Push me faster, slave.
If she was actually doing better than she is, she might have said something like that.
Right.
As soon as they get her bound back to the back of the van, I'll set her up with a kind of an ambulance setup where she's lying down, but strapped.
Well, it's there's not really room for a full lie down thing in the back of the van, but
Oh, okay.
well, a chunk of there's a lot of stuff in the van that's not coming out.
Right.
But
Yeah.
you can sort of set up something that she's at least
It's
in
like the back. It's like the back of the turtle van, basically.
kinda.
So long, I don't even remember what that's like.
Well, don't also forget the jet engines have to go somewhere when it's in normal van
Right.
mode.
Right.
And while they are very efficient and compact jet engines, they're still jet engines.
At any rate, I get her a pallet space.
Yep.
Whatever.
She's sort of a bit of a recliner type thing. She can't be lying down, but
Yeah, that'll work.
and she's sort of sitting there, and she's got a bag full of pills. She's like, and you can set off back for the East Coast.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna play poker with her on the way back.
Anyways, all right. So you guys are heading off to the East Coast. Yeah. So Superior, as you're flying, she says, "So where exactly am I you taking me? I mean, you're just going back to Star City, or are you? What is the plan, if I may ask? Mind you, don't really care that much. Because, as I said, I'm quite happy to get the hell out of the hospital. But what is the plan?
Would there be people on your island that would be able to look after you?
There's definitely a there's a hospital.
All right.
So
all
there are
right,
doctors
good
there.
enough. All right, good enough.
Aaron, that would involve us knowing where her residence is. Are you okay with that?
I'm assuming you're directing that question at her.
Yes, the second part of it.
Yeah.
She looks and says, not that big a secret, really.
All right.
Yeah,
It's
I'm
not
pretty
really
sure
a matter of the
knowledge-
location. I guess it's not really a matter of the location so much as it's hard to get there. She doesn't want you to go there.
Yeah, pretty much.
All right.
If you've got the time and want to fly me out there, it's a bit of a trip. But I mean,
We're already taking a bit of a trip.
it's it's out in the Caribbean, so
We're already taking a bit of a trip.
Well, it's not. It's just. It's It's technically. It's outside. U.S. territories and such. Yeah.
It's much further south too.
Yep.
So.
If that's what you want to do. I'm quite happy to rest up at home.
Sophia's going to present. Actually, scrapping the poker idea. Sophia's going to present what's basically a laptop with Sid Meier's Pirates for her to play. It's a taste of home.
Sort of. Oh God. So yes, the flight. If you're going to fly all the way out there, it's a long trip then. But as you are flying, she says, "Well, this has definitely been an adventure, shall we say?"
That's one way of putting it.
Yeah. Ow. On the plus side, at least I get to recuperate at home. On the downside,
What?
oh, nothing.
What?
Dr. Arcane has a big grin and he's looking between the two of you.
Aaron just looks confused.
Oh, God.
Now
Wait.
Aaron's looking over at Dr. Arcane. This time he says, what, to him.
Oh, God.
Is there some sort of private discussion that I was not aware of that you two had or something?
Not that I'm aware of.
Nope. Everything's just fine. Everything as always has been. No repressed emotions between people around here at all.
What?
Sophia's going to start laughing to herself.
This is perfect. Absolutely perfect.
I feel like there's some sort of private joke that I haven't been let in on.
Oh, no, nothing. Just means I get to recuperate at home. There was a drawback. I was thinking about that, but I realized it's not actually a drawback. Not gonna matter.
I don't even think that you two are laughing at the same thing anymore.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure what the doctors are laughing about, but whatever.
Oh, I'm not laughing
Out
about
of character, I'm pretty sure that they are actually laughing at two different things.
Yep, they are. So I'm out of that hospital and away from that doctor. Perfect. All right. Well, eventually, after a long flight, you do arrive at in sort of the airspace over the island, and you are basically you're calmed by aircraft. They're sort of air traffic control equivalent. And she says, "Just hand me the radio."
Small guy in a white suit going, "Decline, decline."
Not that. It's a smallish island with a sort of smallish smallish city on it, and there's a big sort of mansion up on a hill. And she says, hand me the radio for air traffic control.
I assume that there's one.
Well, air traffic control is basically handing. She says, "Air traffic control, this is Superiana. Yeah, I'm being flown in by some associates. No, everything's fine. They'll land, and I'll be going straight to my home. So yeah, you can stand everything down. Good. Bye. You don't have any problems."
Good.
Sounds good.
Yeah, as you fly over the small airport, you do notice that it looks more like sort of a military airport than anything else.
That's
nice
not
place.
surprising, actually.
Yeah. She says, "Yeah, I do have a small mercenary company that I hired to make sure to provide security for the island when I'm not around."
Understandable.
And since it's not a scheduled flight, they were naturally a bit concerned.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So you land and drive up to drive up the hill up to the mansion.
modest. Actually, the doctor's the last person to be saying anything about that.
Yep. Well, it's not a. It's not a.
Don't worry. Right, I'll say it. Modest.
It is. Wasn't intended to be.
I look back. I was gonna look back at her.
What? I gotta spend my money on something. It's not like I built a palace. It's not like I built a castle or anything like that. It's just a nice, large, nice mansion.
Oh, but castles are nice. I like castles.
Don't encourage her.
What would I do with a castle?
Build a moat.
I've got a swimming. I've got a swimming pool.
Swimming pools are pretty good, nice too. Yeah.
It's not like it's it's not like it's like a super giant mansion. It's just a big, nice house. I mean,
Aaron put his head on the steering wheel.
what can I say? I've acquired a lot of money over the years. She looks over at Eric. I did say I don't regret everything about what I've done over the years. That's one of the reasons why. It's still gonna be boring for at least a week.
Are we done here?
Yeah. You guys are sure. I'll be sure to call the doctors, and you guys are free to leave. Actually, she scribbles down something. That is this week's passcode for air traffic control. Just be sure to give that to them when you take off, so they don't do anything unfortunate.
Oh, thank you. Also, and Sophia's going to scribble something down and hand it to Superiana. If you need to get in touch with me at all for whatever reason, I'm involved with various kinds of research, let me know.
Okay. She takes the note and sort of walks slowly to her mansion, sort of waves.
Try to stay out of trouble.
That would be boring.
Try.
I can't make any promises. I won't do anything. I won't do anything stupid for at least a week. I'm not that dumb.
This has been the weirdest goddamn trip.
Take care of yourselves, guys.
Bye.
And honestly, if you guys need an actual a favor, you can ask. I might be willing to help out. I don't know, maybe if it's big and important or something like that, or particularly entertaining.
I like that.
Keep
If you
that.
guys-
As she pauses and
if you guys
says,
need a favor.
but I hold off for at least a couple of weeks.
You got it.
Yeah. And she sort of she walks in slowly into her house.
I wonder what she was laughing about.
I imagine she had some kind of plans for that doctor, but it's not an issue anymore.
Out of character, what she was laughing about is her realization that the doctor's this is my island. If I want to, I can tell the doctors to go shove off.
Ah, true.
Yeah, that's what I was expecting.
That's what. Yeah.
You have to stay in bed for at least a month. No. Who pays your salaries?
The doctor prefers his narrative.
Well, of course.
All right.
So then you guys refuel and head back to Star City then.
Yep.
Okay, you're back in Star City.
Yay!
I'm going to
That
go
was
fall into
much
bed.
quicker than the way back.
Except Sophia's here and hasn't packed any of her stuff at all.
That's your fault.
I was
You're right.
I was
You
coming
had
along for
prep time.
Superiana's sake.
I'm gonna go collapse into bed because at this point I'm sure I've been flying for like 16 hours or some shit.
Yeah, probably.
All right. In regards to that, I'm going to ask to borrow their phone, and I'm going to make a few calls.
Okay.
And those calls are basically going to be movers.
Okay.
We're going to move all of her stuff over here.
We live in a warehouse.
To the warehouse? Okay. I can put you in touch with a realtor.
Yeah.
Get an apartment or something? I don't know.
I can.
I was joking.
You can just stay here all the time. I think that's what Aaron does.
I could probably buy a manor house or something. It's no big deal.
So yes, you are currently in Star City. What are you guys? So you're able to arrange to get your stuff moved out here at some point. Yes.
Mm.
So.
All right. So we need to figure out what's going on with DARPA. Doc needs to call Alita, know that he's back home, and take a shower, and check on his own mansion, and Shadow Hill.
I like that, Raxus. By the Phantom's old place.
Yeah.
I think I will, actually.
Just been cheap.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, I can see it now.
Probably
Like,
has a
John's like,
secret underground base.
no, I can just see it like this. John just like approaches. You know, I do know of one vacancy around here. Oh, really? Yes, this guy. It was an old associate of ours. He skipped the country.
Associated, not exactly the word. That actually might be the word John uses, but
Exactly.
might be a little bit difficult about the rent if he ever comes back, but
Why not? Yeah, I'll do it. I'll buy the Phantom's old place.
okay, it's for sale. I will say flat out, yeah, sure, it's for sale.
Also,
Basically, it's it's gone through. It was basically seized, by the government, seized by law enforcement because, well, duh.
Yeah.
But
and John spends the next 3 days looking for secret panels.
Sophia installs a bunch of security cameras that work on infrared.
Those seem to work pretty well.
at any rate, all right. So, okay, you're back. Dr. Kane, you definitely can call. You can. Hippolyta is actually in town.
excellent.
She's very happy you're back and in one piece.
What's the worst that could have happened? I could have been torn to pieces by Apex.
Yeah, that was sort of.
Yeah, that hadn't occurred to me.
Well, that's sort of the. I guess that sort of comes part and parcel, sort of, with being actually being, doing what you do. Though not usually by Apex.
Yeah, I hadn't thought of that. In any case, I've got so many stories for you.
I would love to hear them.
First of all, Aaron has a girlfriend.
John has a girlfriend.
So she actually asked you. So what was the
The next time we talk with her, we're just like, "What the fuck were you telling her?"
Well, since you all made it back intact, clearly I want to have dinner with you at some point,
Yes.
for obvious reasons. But I also like to see the rest of the crew. I don't know. We could bring in some. We could do dinner at your dinner at your base or something like that.
Let's do dinner at my place. Guys, we're having dinner at my place. When's good?
She says I'm free all week. Actually, I'm not going anywhere for at least a month, as near as I can tell.
Excellent. So, imagine everyone's going to want to sleep and shower and whatnot. So let's say tomorrow night.
Sure. I'd be more than happy to cook if you'd like.
That would be great. I love the that thing with the feta and the olives and the lamb, the souvlaki thing.
Sure.
My Greek is terrible.
And gyros.
Souvlaki should be doable.
Excellent, guys. We're all having dinner at my place tomorrow night. He's gonna cook, and it's gonna be great.
Yay!
Who?
They're very excited.
So it's gonna be you. So it's you, John, Aaron, me, and it's just you, me, John, and Aaron, right?
Sophia, did you want to come?
I don't think it would be bad for me to learn of your friends.
Sure. We also picked up a new, I guess, member?
We got a sixth ranger.
Fifth ranger. You never had a fifth one before.
Not that you know of. We have a revolving door policy here at the Centurions. Sentinels, even, sorry.
Well, all right. So 5 then. Oh no, 6. I should make something for Tony.
Yes.
See? 6.
I probably shouldn't cook the fish for Tony though. He probably prefers it raw. I'll think of something.
Ask him, but it'd be difficult to understand. Still haven't figured out a translation spell. He seems to defy it.
Well, he is a penguin.
That is true.
Ask Tony what he thinks of sardines.
Tony, flippers up if you like sardines.
Mark!
He loves sardines.
Sweet. All right. Great. I'll bring something. Yeah. So I'll probably need to get in a little bit early so I can actually, cook.
Oh no, that'd be great.
All right.
I'll be there.
Sweet.
I'm going to take care of a couple things here around the base, and I'll just head over to my place. I'll be there when you come over tomorrow.
Sweet. Okay. Excellent. I will go shopping, and I'll talk to you later.
Excellent.
Take care.
Bye. Dinner with my girlfriend.
Mecca.
Yes.
Sophia's going to make one more call out to the West Coast.
Sure. To whom?
To Kane Gardner.
Okay. So you talked to your ex?
Yeah.
Okay.
Basically just telling him that she's moved to the East Coast and is going to be working with heroes around here, possibly for the duration of the whole alien thing, possibly thereafter. Either way, she'll be in touch if needed.
He says okay.
And she's also going to ask about her daughter.
She's doing well. Things are
That's
going
good.
things are going well for her in school, et cetera, et cetera. The usual. Things are going well for her.
Wonderful. I'm glad to hear it.
She's currently at a friend's house, but
Well, that's good to hear. I'm hoping she's having fun with that right now.
I'll tell her to give you a call. I'll tell her to give you a call later.
All right. Here's the number for this place.
Excellent. All right. Take care of yourself, will you?
I will. Bye, Kane.
Bye.
Click.
Whoa, 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 whoa. That sounded suspiciously like character development.
It's like I play serious characters.
All right. So yeah, sleep and stuff happens. Is there anybody? Is there anything? Any other stuff you want to do before you actually have your?
Sophia's going to make a temporary illusion projection device for the sake of the dinner. Because armor kind of isn't, dinner attire.
Nice, last season.
Okay.
Okay, I'm back.
Okay. Yay! Nick's back.
Welcome back.
So yeah. So other than sleeping, Nick, is there anything you want to do before the whole dinner thing at Dr. Arcane's?
Not that I can think of.
All right. Good. Then we can fast forward to that, I guess.
All right.
Wasn't planning on. So yes. All right. So.
I derail things with a dinner party.
No. Actually, no. You're not derailing anything. I'm debating where to throw things, where to throw in the next sort of monkey wrench and things in. But
Well, in the middle of the dinner party, obviously Baron von Toten bursts into my living room to declare that the scene is fire.
to lay claim to the Souvlaki in the name of Baron von Toten.
But you're not in souvlaki. Oh, you mean the dinner?
Well, Toten demands more tzatziki sauce.
No, there's got to be a message on the stove or whatever that says, "Don't turn it off once it's been turned on, otherwise it'll explode."
If this stove goes below 400 degrees, it will explode.
Exactly. Exactly. That's exactly what I was talking about.
So I'm going to, in preparation for the party, I will put on, I guess, some like nice clothes, but I'm going to still wear my mask.
Sure.
Also, well, although I'm not wearing my armor, I'm going to bring my shield and sword. I'll leave the sword at the door.
Understandable.
Sophia will bring her visor with her, but she won't be wearing it. Because it kind of, clash with the illusion of regular clothing.
All right. All right, so you all meet at Dr. Arcane's the next day. Sophia, you are introduced to Hippolyta Eris,
Oh, there.
whom you've heard described before.
I can't imagine where.
Yeah,
Totally
right.
not my version of Catwoman. No.
She's totally not Catwoman. She's a sorceress,
Yeah.
and she has nothing. She has no has nothing in particular to do with cats.
Except
Especially not Egyptian idols.
Well,
No, it's certainly not
outside of outside of antiquities that happen to be fashioned after Bast, sure, but she has no particular fixation on Bast.
Well, it's a pleasure to meet you.
Pleasure to meet you too. So you're the new member of the team.
it seems that way, yes.
Excellent. I'm a friend of Archie's. I've been living.
yes.
So I've come to understand.
Dinner will be ready soon. I'm something of a sorceress. Know a bit about magic also. Much like Archie.
Oh,
here.
she's brilliant. You should hear her theories on trans-quantum intersections upon the metaplanes.
Oh, are you into magic also?
No, I'm strictly into the technical side of things.
Well then I won't bore you with magical theory.
There are some lines where they do intersect, though. So,
Dr. Arcane's like, oh.
oh, who's phoning?
Not
not.
me. That's
Weird.
interference from something. But anyways,
As I've told Dr. Arcane before, there are certain manners in which science and magic are similar. It just seems that while science works more on the physically present, magic seems to exist more in an ethereal form for the most part. At least that's my observation.
it's more complicated than that. But again, I don't want to bore everybody else. Then.
Understandable.
There are a lot of similarities between basic thaumaturgical theory and basic quantum mechanics. The idea of the influence of the observer on his environment.
Hippolyta, I
he
see
starts
you're
going
doing
off.
well. It's nice to see you.
I'm doing quite well also Aaron. Archie,
Oh, sorry.
would you be here and get the stuffed grape leaves out of the kitchen
Certainly.
and the wine?
Obviously.
Oh,
And all along.
Aaron, is there anything you want in particular? If I remember correctly, you don't drink wine, correct?
Well, yes.
I don't consume alcohol.
Hang on, I got another fucking phone.
Fair enough. I think there's some soda and fruit juice that I brought also.
Do you have any cranberry juice?
Didn't bring any cranberry juice.
I should have some. Do you want vodka or scotch with it, or bourbon with it?
I don't consume alcohol.
Seriously, straight? Okay.
Vodka and cranberry. Hold the vodka.
And a mech.
Hello.
I'll go back.
Yeah, if I recall, I think Aaron's still like 19. So.
Yes. Yes.
He might be 20 by now, but still.
That's no biggie. It's legal where I am.
Actually, as far as Hippolyta is concerned, that honestly that wouldn't matter in any way, shape, or form.
Not at all.
And who's going to tell her?
Right.
Actually, my real identity is.
Well, more the point. It's more the point is that it's like she's Greek.
Yeah.
Ah,
It's like
you
whatever.
You should have been.
You're
you should
such
have
a small boy. Eat. Drink.
You should have like 3 kids by now.
Not so much. That depends
I
on.
don't know about 3, but
That depends on the individual person. But the whole point of drinking, it's wine. That's not drinking, for starters. I mean, that's what you drink with meals. It's but juice is acceptable.
I imagine it's more of a thing for him, so he can stay sharp anyway. So
I imagine so. At any rate, I assume, Doc, you actually have chairs that can support someone in armor, right?
Yes.
Given you.
Yeah. Actually, direct her away from the Louis XIV to a stainless steel Bauhaus chair.
That'll do.
Yes. Dr. Arcane also has a mansion. Not quite as gigantic as Superiana's, and not nearly as not nearly as flashily opulent.
No, it's a German family. They tend to be more austere.
Mm-hmm.
I've got a 1-bedroom apartment.
I have a home that used to belong to a supervillain.
I don't even use my 1-bedroom apartment anymore.
Well, that's the thing. I've got the apartment. I was in it like for 10 minutes of the first episode. I haven't been back since.
John has like 10,000 messages from the phone company. Like, we're gonna come to disconnect your lines.
At any rate, so as you're sitting down for food, which is unsurprisingly is actually quite good. It's all Greek, but so Hippolyta actually asks, so I have to hear what happened.
Oh, so we had the I give her the rundown with the devices and Hiveminder and having to fight Hiveminder and all the weirdness. So then we came up with the plan to build a giant signal interference device, which turned out to be like several 100 meters wide in California, which is where Apex had taken the other devices Hiveminder had built, and blah 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 blah
blah blah blah blah stuff. Interesting. So what is it like actually working with Superiana? I have to ask.
Entertaining.
That's one
I would
way
say
of
it was
putting
entertaining. She's actually rather polite. I quite like her, actually.
She's very misunderstood. I don't know, Erin. How did you find her?
This is the entertaining part.
If you pay attention, you may see the sparks out of his ears.
She was
figures it
more.
out.
Sorry, what was you saying, Nick?
She was more tolerable than I expected.
Ah. Interesting. No, it's
I'm sorry. When the fuck did Yoda show up? I just heard the...
The dinner is crashed by little green men. From
I'm
space.
going to look around at all 4 of them.
What? Yeah, Tony's there. He's eating
Oh,
sardines.
I didn't catch that. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, he's there.
I'm going to look at all 4 of them aside from Tony.
Oh, I thought Tony is enjoying his sardines.
Exactly what have you told her before now, Doctor?
This is the first I've mentioned it.
Bullshit.
What?
Aaron, when have I ever lied to you? It's the first I've mentioned it. It's just really entertaining to embarrass you in front of everyone here at the dinner table.
Why would he be embarrassed?
Yeah, exactly. Why do you think I'm embarrassed?
I don't think he means embarrassed so much as he likes provoking a specific reaction out of you.
Annoyance?
It's gentle teasing. Come on.
I don't understand this group.
Oh dear.
Cue laughter from everyone.
Oh dear. I've just heard things about Superior. I've just heard, I don't know Superior. I've never met her, and just interested to know what the woman herself is like.
She's very self-confident and seems kind of tired.
Huh.
Most of the time you saw her was after she had been beaten to a pulp, so I imagine that that's not exactly how she normally is.
I was more referring to the flight out to California. She seemed, I don't know,
Bored?
like someone who's done this sort of thing all over too many times.
She's actually she comes across a lot nicer than you'd think. She just has a questionable set of morals. Her moral
Sophia
compass
stares
is
at
just-
John.
What?
That explains why you find her sympathetic.
You know, I do what I think is for the greater good. She does what she does for money.
Well, she is a bad guy. There's no denying that. But she stepped up when the world needed her to. So
I think that if she were encouraged enough, that she would shift her polarity, if you would.
Yeah, she'd go. I as it current stands in time, I'd probably say she. I won't class her as a bad guy. I'd say she's neutral.
Yeah, she definitely has the potential of being a hero.
She does whatever entertains her and what she feels like doing. Unfortunately, half the time it ends up being something we don't like. But it's not. I don't think it's spiteful or malicious with her.
well, personally, I don't think it'll be too long before she retires.
To quote a cliche that another hero once said, "It's not what you are underneath; it's what you do that defines you." And I think
Who
it's
said that? I haven't heard that guy.
There is some truth to that.
And it's important to know that she remains guilty of the actions that she's done in the past. Just because she's not rotten at the core necessarily doesn't mean that she has the potential. And just because she has the potential to be a good person doesn't mean we should treat her as such.
A fair point, but call me naive. I wish to extend the chance, at least.
Johnny starts staring at Erin and just pointing at Tony.
What?
The two
That's
are
actually a
hardly
question.
the two are hardly comparable.
That's actually a question I've been having. How did you come across this fine, touched gentleman?
I tackled him.
Or
He was robbing a bank, a series of banks actually, in
Mark.
order to get to do what he needed to survive. And so instead we took him in.
Huh.
Yeah, it was actually kind of interesting. I was working on a teleportation spell at the time, and accidentally teleported myself into another dimension. And when I came back covered in purple goo, there was a penguin there.
Well, that's quite the tale.
Mark.
He can build robots too. If we like.
He looks over at Dr. Arcane. Mark.
I'm not sure what you're inferring from your tone here.
I'm not sure. You get the impression. Sorry, you do sort of get the impression. It's sort of a sort of question. It's sort of a. You get the impression. So he has that sort of impression of, now that you mention it, what the hell was that about? The purple goo stuff.
Whereas I accidentally teleported myself to the dimension without shrimp. And in place of shrimp, they have horrible sentient purple slime monsters.
Wow.
And I happened to teleport myself into a slime monster cannery.
Mark.
Sophia's going to blink.
Well, it was an entertaining jaunt before I managed to rework what I had done wrong and while being slowly digested, and then I teleported myself back. Turns out slime monsters are very good for writing things in. Or at least their stomach linings are. They're sort of porous.
I see.
So glad this is after dinner conversation.
Indeed.
Yes. Well. Yeah. Well, this has been lovely.
Sophia's going to pat Dr. Arcane on the back. Well done, sir.
What?
It was good to see you all again, and good to meet you, Sophia.
Likewise.
I'm going to go clean up, deal with the dishes and such, since I'm the one who made the mess.
Oh, here, let me help. They're my dishes. I should help.
Okay. And that wraps up the dinner thing. I mean, I wasn't planning on doing a whole lot with that for obvious reasons.
Right.
Let's see what's happening next. Is there anything else you guys want to do right now? So,
I
but yes,
imagine that Sophia is exchanging complex mechanical theory with Wark at the moment.
Work.
But,
Yes, but if you invert the polarity of the neutron flow, then that doesn't make any sense, Tony. Have you been watching Doctor Who again?
Mark.
John just sat to one side with her and, do you think she's disappointed that the best conversation she's getting here is with a penguin?
So, is there anything you guys want to do in particular now that you're back in Star City?
Well, we need to contact Agent Smith with regards to the
Okay.
DARPA thing.
All right, that's entirely doable. How do you want to? I assume you guys want to go meet with him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Good. That's not the sort of thing you want to actually do over the phone, really.
I will disable the camo device.
All right. So the next day you can go see Agent Smith. I assume you don't want to do it after dinner.
No, I will be busy.
All right. So the next day you can arrange a meeting with Agent Smith. Agent Smith says, "Oh, it's good to see you all back and in one piece. How did things? From what I've heard, things went pretty well outside of that situation with Anderson."
Yeah, he's a jerk.
Yes, he is.
He is. I honestly have been trying to find a way to get him fired, with no success.
Well, that's because he's also very, very, very good at his job.
Yes, unfortunately.
And his job is not public relations.
Thankfully.
Yes.
It's okay now, though, because now you answer to Agent Smith, and John looks like Smith. I haven't forgotten.
Agent Smith looks at John. Why do you keep doing that?
You guys gotta have a hobby.
I guess. Anyways, I assume that there's a reason you guys wanted to see me, beyond just sort of like filling me in what actually happened.
Well, when we finally came to where the lead on the devices ended, it was in a facility that was basically in contract with DARPA.
Really?
Yes.
Where was this?
Out in California.
What company?
What was it? Infinitech or something?
Yes, that was what it was.
Okay, yeah.
Infinitech. I don't remember them actually having any connections with DARPA. They've got contracts with the DOD, but not DOA. Yeah.
You've got contacts with an 80s hairband?
They've got contacts with a video game.
They've got contacts that are dead or on arrival.
Bum. Anyways, DOD.
You have contacts with boob bump mapping?
Wyrod already made that joke.
Oh, dear.
I didn't make the joke. I just made the reference.
Yeah.
Same thing.
All right. Yeah. So, Yeah, right. Well, as far as I know. So what did you... okay, I'm probably going to regret asking this, but how did you find this out? What did you find out, and what exactly what happened?
Sophia looks right at John.
John just grins as big wide as he can at Ainsmith.
I really am not going to like this, am I?
Do you like spy novels?
I do when they're fictional.
John's going to give him the story.
As you're telling, Agent Smith sort of, pinches the bridge of his nose, slowly his hand then covers his eyes, then it's both hands on his face.
But it's okay, because no one knows who I am.
John, that doesn't make it okay.
Well, they can't trace us.
You're just kind of like sitting in the corner. All this is going on.
John, even if you were an operative of the United States government, that would still not have been okay. But I'm not going to quibble. What exactly was the device? What exactly did the device you found do?
She's going to wave in the general direction of the two tech people.
In short, it's basically a mechanical psionic projection device used for communicating or at least extracting information from the aliens.
Okay.
Seems to use this interesting
Doctor.
tachyon.
Doctor.
What?
Come over here. Come over here.
What? What? He wanted to know what it does.
I'm just going to distract him long enough for Sophia to actually explain it.
All right.
As you well know, the aliens use basically a hive mind of communication amongst themselves. Basically, this would allow us to tap in. It would allow a person to tap into a singular mind within that huge network and communicate with that in a two-way manner, effectively.
I see. Okay. This explains some of the reports I've been seeing from NSEA West Coast.
Yes, the potential uses and abuses of such a device are astronomical in every direction.
Well,
and superluminal, because it would be using tachyons and quantum mechanics. But
all I know, well, I don't know anything about the particular device or anything like that, but I do know that somebody high up in the government has been complaining vociferously to my West Coast compatriots about a break-in at a secure laboratory facility and something important being taken, but they wouldn't say exactly what it was or anything like that. I now know exactly what it was. All right. Well, so I appreciate knowing this in some ways. In some ways, I really wish I didn't know any of this, but whatever. I assume there's another reason you came here other than to cause me headaches.
Well, we're kind of hoping that you might.
There was something else that we discovered.
Ah, okay.
The manner in which we found where this was being kept, we also received another signal, a signal coming from above.
Orbit, specifically.
I see. Okay, that actually is, again, something I kind of wish I didn't know, but I need to know, actually. Okay, that's
in order to find the device that was from the laboratory, I built a detection unit to find the kind of circuitry and whatnot that the aliens use, and yeah, they're above us.
Lovely. All right.
Could be as simple as a small relay station, or as dangerous as a dreadnought. But
we don't really know, except its position, and I can relay the coordinates because I have eidetic memory.
Okay, well, that's good to know. Sort of outside my jurisdiction, but good to know. I'm gonna have to talk to DoD people again. Lovely. I love talking to the DoD. They're such wonderful people. Oh God.
I don't suppose they want their device back.
The device you're describing doesn't really sound like a DoD thing. Is the thing.
Okay.
I think you're right when you said something about DARPA. Invenitech doesn't have any official connections to DARPA, but that doesn't mean DARPA didn't actually, contact them about it, or someone there didn't contact someone at DARPA or anything like that. They have connections with multiple people in the people in the government. Oh God. So, is there anything else they might be looking into that I want to know about that might cross over onto DARPA's category? This is alien tech, which means it's not strictly my jurisdiction, but it can have impact in my jurisdiction, so I kind of need to know this stuff.
Well, the devices emit exotic particles, so that's a way to track them or further research into them.
That's how I built my device, yes.
Right. So, but it's not like but you've taken away everything they possibly could have that was working off this stuff, correct?
As far
All the
as
physical things, I don't know. John, did you handle any of their research or research documents or computer
It
cores?
was kind of an emergency situation. I grabbed the device and as many crystals as I could. I didn't really see what else was going on around it.
All right.
You remember those devices that were attached to the temples?
Yes.
We were tracing 5 of them, and that's how we came to the conclusion that they were at the laboratory. The only active ones were these. I imagine it would have taken 4 of them to construct this, but there might be 1 more left, but in their hands under study.
Okay.
And bottom line, it means Infinitech, what they're called, are reverse engineering alien tech.
Yes.
All right. That's okay. Well, I will let the DoD know because that is their. This definitely falls into their jurisdiction, and they won't be happy if DARPA's actually doing this without telling them about it. And DARPA might have told them about that. I don't know. But DoD definitely needs to know. They need to know about the possible alien ship in orbit also. Yeah. I will try to keep your names out of this, but I can't make any promises.
So just say John Doe. I mean, that kind of covers all the possibilities.
Yeah. Trust me, they it might be. Yeah. As I said, I'll try to keep you out of it, but it's possible the DoD may show up to ask you some questions at some point. Fortunately, as I said, you guys are my jurisdiction, so they won't really do anything particularly untowards to you or anything like that. But they may show up to ask some questions somewhat strenuously, but not, nothing outside the pale.
Mm-hmm.
Understood.
I will try to, as I said, try to keep you out of it, but because I can cover just by saying some heroes reported to me about this stuff. The thing is that since it was reported to me, they know the heroes I'm in contact with, and they know that you guys were on the West Coast. So, if they're not morons, they'll be able to add 2 and 2 and get 4, and not share.
Sophia's going to laugh.
And honestly, most people I deal with at DoD are not dumb enough to get share out of that. Unlike
might get 10 if they're working off of base 4.
Yes, that's why I said chair and not another number.
Anyway.
Yes, exactly. Also, that'd be base 8, not base. No, it'd be base 4. You're right. Never mind. That's me fucking up. My brain is not. All right. So, yeah. Well, thanks for the heads up on all that. Though those also DoD may show up to ask you for some assistance with the whole orbital thing if they might. I don't know.
My suit is capable of space walks, so I would be fully willing to assist.
I'm gonna have to insist on talking. I'm gonna have to go. I'm gonna have to. Oh God! I'm gonna have to go talk to the damn alien we got locked up again. Lovely. Fortunately, Professor Paradigm left actually was able to create something of an actual translator. So,
Oh, good. I can upload it to my own.
well, yeah, it runs on magic,
Oh.
honestly,
Hmm.
and some sort of psionic convergence harmony bullshit. I don't know.
That's not bullshit. You see, it works by resonating along the audit plane into the dreamscape where.
I just want to like make this as kind of an official thing. Anytime that Dr. Arcane kind of goes on one of his spiels, Sophia just kind of starts like chuckling to herself.
As you're doing that, Eric, Elizabeth crosses his arms and looks at you pointedly.
Well, I was just saying that it's not bullshit.
So you're saying that the new age wacko hippies that are into the whole the crystal thing are not full of bullshit?
No, all that's bullshit. But the crystal but a properly attuned crystal can be used as a focus for psionic resonance to allow such things.
Okay. At any rate, a lot of what Professor Paradigm was saying sounded like that crap. Is what I'm saying. It may actually work, but his phraseology struck me as yeah. Anyways,
Yeah, there's a lot of Whenever you start talking about psionics and crystals, it's kind of unavoidable.
He sort of chuckles a little bit. Anyways, thanks for letting me know about all of this, and I'm gonna need to get some ibuprofen and coffee. Lots of coffee. Thanks for coming in. I'll be sure to let you know. Oh God, this is. Oh, that reminds me. You guys coming in. Actually, there was something I wanted that I was actually supposed to pass on to you guys now that you're back. Where is it? Remember Sue's desk. Ah, yes. A letter came for you guys.
Oh.
Addressed to the Star City Sentinels. He pulls out an envelope that is exquisitely very, very nice, very heavy paper envelope that looks like it's extremely it's sort of a very fancy envelope, and it's sealed. It's got a seal on the back, which you look at, and any of you who have any knowledge of it would. I'm trying to think if any of you would have knowledge of it. Actually, Errant might. Errant, actually, yeah, you actually would recognize it, Errant. Oh, Nick might. Did you step away still? Or are you back yet? Nick? Yeah, Nick's on the phone, I think.
Nick's dead.
Oh. You're listening? Okay, great. Yeah, so, Errant recognizes it as the royal crest of Atlantis, actually.
Oh, cool. Well, I guess I'll open it.
It is a letter from the Queen, actually. From the Queen's. It's actually from the Queen.
Ooh.
It's an invitation to. It's not an invitation. It's a request that when you have some free time, that if you could come to Atlantis at some point, there are things that she would like to discuss with you all, since you had some interactions with some members of her extended family whom might cause some problems in some places, and that there are things that she might want to discuss with you about that.
Right.
So that's what that is. And he says, also, I got a message from a message for Errant from somebody a German hero by the name of who goes. God, what's his name? Hang on, I gotta find his name. Hold on. There he is. Yeah, a German hero by the name of Panzerfaust.
Good name.
Yes.
Who said that he'd been in contact with the Bastion of Budapest, and he'd been keeping an eye on somebody that the Bastion told you about, that, and that the quarry had been sighted in the Black Forest, and was seen there briefly. Apparently, he was there for a while. He and some of his associates, and then left and continued heading east. It looked like he was heading towards England.
The quarry being Archon?
That would be the implication. He was not that specific. He also said that he and a couple of his associates, including a German sorcerer who's operated in the States a fair bit, whom you may have heard of, Zauberer, took a look at wherever it's obviously Archon was looking at it, looking where Archon was looking, and it was definitely a ruin of some sort deep in the Black Forest that had definite magical resonance on it.
Okay, seeing as the Doctor actually did a lot of studying in Germany, in particular the Black Forest, what ruin is he talking about?
It's the area you're talking about. Is a ruin you've not actually heard of. It's one that Zauber was surprised to stumble across. It was very well hidden.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
And very old.
Well, damn it! Now I have to go and visit this ruin.
And that is it for the messages from Agent Smith. And I think that will wrap things up for today. I was mostly trying to wrap up all the loose plot threads this week, and drop on the two possible plot hooks for you guys to investigate, to look into next time.
Right.
So that is going to wrap up the session for this week.
I would like to say that Sophia comments that Smith's office is much cleaner than Anderson's.
Whether it's true or not doesn't matter.
Oh, no,
Anderson, Smith would chuckle at that. But yes, well, it is actually bordering on OCD neat. So that will wrap things up. I do want to know if you guys have any particular preference for where you're going to head to next, what you're going to look into next. So we can cover that now. So if you guys want to talk about that in character, that'd be awesome.
So Atlantis, huh?
Yeah, that probably is not. You probably aren't going to talk about that here. You probably talk about that at base, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, the Doctor really wants to go to this ruin in the Black Forest. But we did just receive. It would be rude to refuse a royal summons. Rude being an understatement.
Though
even if it was phrased as
I remember reading in the news about Atlanteans and Superiana. Is that how you met?
Yes, actually.
Interesting.
I would prefer that we answer the summons first.
It's something I'm more capable of comprehending than a magical ruin, so that has my interest.
Okay, so I will plan for Atlantis then.
Yeah, we should
not Germany.
Probably, but mysterious ruins, the Black Forest. Ones I missed.
You didn't unlock it in DDR.
So we'll be doing Atlantis next time. Okay, great. I will work on the Atlantis plot threads then for next session. Awesome. Basically, there are a couple. I have like 3 ideas for stuff to do, and those are I've. One of them is definitely back burner, which is more script stuff. But I want to hold off on the script stuff for a little while because I don't want to overload on it.
Right.
Fair enough.
And I figured touching back on either the
the Atlanteans,
or Archon, basically, needed to be touched. Both of those need to be touched on. So, we'll be back in, I believe, 2 weeks. Next week will be Kung Fu Theater, I believe. So, till we see you guys next, Excelsior! Because, why not?
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Later, kids.
Take it easy.